Insane update on the war front. The Islamic Republic of England is collapsing. The Islamic Republic of Iran is collapsing. The communist morons in Cuba are collapsing. The communist network in America is collapsing. Multiple influencers were caught working for foreign governments and they are going to jail. Democrats are seemingly stealing elections in California and the Donald is getting involved. Mormon community in Utah under a lot of scrutiny over the Lego scandal, which apparently is over. A couple of YouTubers murdered their own baby, not a very nice thing to do in my opinion, and now they are playing victim. And in honor of Pride Month, the God of War series went woke, and it's literally over now. Their entire company is dead. So, you know, that's going woke, ladies and gentlemen. They thought your average God of War fan just loves gay orgies and feminism and stuff. And unfortunately for them, they miscalculated. Lock in, boys and girls. We got lots to talk about today. We do a deep dive every day, covering all the things. Happy Nuclear Family Month. We got lots to do. The Donald is something of a poet.
The parks are open. We changed the grass. You know, grass has a life also.
Grass has a life also.
Like people. Like grass has a life.
He's so real for
and
this.
That grass hasn't been changed in 70, 80 years.
Grass has a life also. Like people. The Donald truly is something of the wisest man we've ever seen. Anyway, a lot of people are asking him a lot of questions regarding the Ayatollah situation, you know, because unfortunately for, you know, them, they're having a much harder time having their fix regarding the anal penetration of goats and children, which is basically an Ayatollah's favorite thing, because all those guys are stuck in bunkers or dead. So, you know, a lot less children are getting mutilated by these people, which obviously is tragic news for the mutilators. Nothing like, imagine these guys spent 47 years trying to create a pedophile regime so that they could do unthinkably horrible things to goats and children, and now they can't do that anymore. And it's all because of Donald not respecting their culture. All right, so let's see what Donald had to say.
Meet with the new Ayatollah, the new supreme leader.
I don't want to meet, but if
I don't want to meet. That guy is a pedophile. Got him. True.
I'd be honored to meet him. I'd like to see.
I'd be honored to meet him, bro. We might Maduro that guy.
But if we make a deal, it's possible that I would meet him. I'd be okay with it.
Did that happen here in the U.S.? White House?
Oh, I don't know, Peter. I haven't really heard too much about it. I didn't suggest it, but some people have suggested it. If it happened, it would be happen. I'd be respectful.
Do you think because Epic Fury killed?
I'd be respectful. You know, I murdered his father. I'd be respectful.
His dad and his wife and his kid.
Oh shit.
He's got hard feelings and wouldn't want to meet.
I can't believe the reporter actually asked that. You know, you did kill his father and children. So would that make things like awkward?
Well, I would say I'm not his favorite person, but. With that being said, he's probably I don't know. He's probably a professional.
Oh, God.
In some circles, he has a very good reputation, actually. You know, sometimes some people say bad, but a lot of people say bad about me. It's totally false, of course.
Mr. President.
Sure. Yeah, so anyway, Mr. President, yeah, I can imagine I'm not his favorite person. Yeah, probably not, Mr. President. Probably not. Now, yesterday, the Donald tweeted this. Yesterday, in a meaningless vote, the House voted for bad Republicans and all of the Democrats, gay, all of them. They're all gay. They're gay and retarded. To limit my war powers right in the middle of the final negotiations to end the war with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Who would do such an unpatriotic thing? They know where the negotiations stand. The Democrats are fueled by Trump derangement syndrome. They would rather have our country fail than give another of many victories to the four Republicans. That's a whole other story. They're grandstanders. They should be ashamed of themselves. They're also gay. They're gay like the Democrats. Yeah, so the Donald roasted these guys, and rightfully so. Now, you can have whatever opinion you want on the war, whether we should have gone to war, we shouldn't have gone to war. Personally, killing terrorists is a pretty good use of my tax dollars, if you ask me personally. I'd rather use my tax dollars to kill terrorists that are directly trying to build nuclear weapons and kill us, and have also killed thousands of Americans. I would way rather my tax dollars go to that than, I don't know, which happened yesterday. The Ukraine Support Act just passed. 226 to 195. 18 Republicans supported the bill. Oh, yes. This is a bill for $9 billion to Ukraine, by the way. I would way rather spend $9 billion blowing up the terrorists that are trying to actually kill us in Iran than giving them to Ukraine so that war could go on for even longer. I just want to make it clear that every single person that opposes the Iran war but voted for funding Ukraine to the tune of billions of dollars, every single one of those people are absolute hypocritical retards that hate our fucking country. That's it. That's where we're at right now. You have to understand exactly what we're dealing with. Every Democrat voted, except for one, voted to give money to Ukraine. Every Democrat voted against obliterating a terror threat to our nation in Iran. Like, it makes it pretty obvious. The only person who did not actually vote to give money to Ukraine, ironically, was Ilhan Omar. And that's not because she actually cares about our money, obviously, because she is in the fraud capital of the country. It's because she actually sides with Russia, because that's where the Islamist retard alliance shows up. She is calling to send aid to Somalia, of course, but not to Ukraine. But again, these people are all hypocrites. All right, you have to understand exactly what we're dealing with. We are dealing with a war against feudalistic gay retards. Each one is their own little ethnic enclave or little fucking retard politics that they're trying to assuage their people by being completely retarded. So just to understand, the Democrats all vote to give billions of dollars to Ukraine, but they all vote against killing terrorists that are trying to kill us. And not only that, but they're doing it in middle of peace negotiations. Like, if Trump would listen to this, which he won't, let's be honest, this isn't going to go anywhere. It's obviously going to get shut down in the Senate. And even if it doesn't get shut down in the Senate, Trump is just going to veto it. Nothing's going to happen. This is all performative. It's a waste of our tax dollars that these retards can get together in the most feminized institution of all time, the federal government, so that they could sit together and be like, okay, guys, let's write strongly worded letters together about our condemnation and our moral grandstanding about different situations. Let's cuck our entire nation in order to morally grandstand against Donald Trump killing terrorists in Iran. Right? You have to understand the level of evil we're actually dealing with. Now, there is no reason to give money to Ukraine, but not to support the war with Iran. Just to be clear, there is no logical reason whatsoever. Funding Ukraine is a charity. It absolutely does not benefit our nation whatsoever in any way possible. Zero beneficial gain from giving money to Ukraine. Obliterating the terrorists in Iran that have killed thousands of Americans and are trying to build nuclear weapons to kill us and have also massacred 40,000 of their own people and attacked all of our allies like Kuwait and Bahrain and Israel and Jordan and UAE and Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Yeah, that actually does benefit us directly. So anyone that's for this, but against that, is obviously playing partisan politics. And honestly, they're doing it with our dollars and with our lives. And fuck them. I'm really glad you were here for my opinion, my blue opinion on all the things. So they were trying to get these guys in Congress. They were roasting them. They were trying to get them to cough up why actually the Iran war is bad, because killing terrorists is obviously a bad thing. Now, you are not ready for what you're about to hear. This might be one of the most embarrassing things ever.
Recently, President Trump proudly claimed that he doesn't think about Americans' financial situation.
Just to be clear, that's a lie. The quote is taken out of context regarding Donald Trump saying it would be more financially beneficial now to obliterate the Iran nuclear threat than to wait for them to actually have nuclear weapons. So even if gas prices are higher right now in America for a couple of months, it will be overall way better than actually letting them have nukes so they could shut down the Strait of Hormuz forever and there would be nothing we could actually do about it. That's the actual sentence. And she's like, oh, he doesn't care about Americans' finances. So just understand how the left lies, because they don't actually believe in honesty or words or values at all. Anyway, Mrs. Chu, a foreigner, she's probably a Chinese spy. I don't say that because I have evidence. I'm just saying that because she's Chinese and she's in our government.
When it comes to the war with Iran. So I want to ask you, Secretary Bessent, do you agree with President Trump that you also do not care about Americans' financial situations?
I love it. So she states a lie, and then she asks him if he disagrees with the president, but that's not something the president ever said. Just to be clear.
Congresswoman, who was the president during World War I?
Oh,
Can you?
Silence.
No,
Are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm asking, who was the president during World War I?
I don't know, but
Get these foreigners out of Congress! Get these foreigners out of Congress! We do not want them here! You are not American! Oh my God! Are you serious? This is embarrassing, by the way. This is humiliating. Humiliating that she is a representative of our nation.
You're
You
not
don't know who the
answering my
president during World War I was.
question.
But
So you're going to have these retards in Congress that are not American in any way aside from with paperwork lecture us on our policies and our politics and our morals. They're going to sit there and they're going to grandstand. Those pieces of shit, dude. Oh my God. Holy, that wasn't even the point he was trying to make. He wasn't even trying to make that point.
Let me
So
tell you.
I'm clearly getting the idea that you do not want to answer whether you agree with President Trump that you do not care about Americans' financial situations.
President Trump does care about Americans' financial situation.
Well, he actually said that he doesn't.
Well, actually,
that
that's
is
not
a
true.
truncated thing, like everything is.
He's just right. Look how tired he is. It's Democrat fatigue. It's a truncated thing like everything is. True. He said that he doesn't care about Americans' financial situations in the context of it would be way worse if they had nuclear weapons, and then our financial situation would be absolutely fucked because we would have to go to war against a much more powerful nation that had absolute control over the Strait of Hormuz. So compared to that, the financial crisis, in air quotes, because it's still better than Biden's economy, the financial crisis today is, from a perspective of they might have nuclear weapons that fucking kill all of us and completely control the Strait of Hormuz, relatively irrelevant.
That he is future-proofing, because I can tell you, Americans' financial situations would be devastated if Iran got a nuclear weapon and there was a permanent shutdown of the flow of energy out of the Middle East.
Well, then let me ask you, was your
I promise you that President
I'm taking my time back.
I will promise you that President Woodrow Wilson, who was president during World War I, that the Germans did not attack us. He got into that. It was
you're not answering the question, so let me ask this.
Right. So these non-Americans who do not have American values, who for some reason are in our government, are going to lecture us on why we are doing things wrong according to the American values that she makes believe exists. The idea that we're not allowed to get into a conflict that wasn't directly inflicted upon us preemptively is retarded, it's gay, it's fake, and I do not whatsoever believe in this ideology. I firmly stand with Woodrow Wilson for fucking up the Germans in World War I before we were directly attacked. I firmly stand with President Donald J. Trump for killing the fucking terrorists that have been trying to kill us for years, for 47 years. And my stance is very simple in this regard. You kill them before they kill you. Yes, and you can scream about international law, which is fake and gay anyway, and war crimes, which aren't really a real thing, because international law and war crimes and Geneva Conventions and all this shit, it was invented by weak people to control strong people. That's what it is. The strongest guy in the room doesn't need to come up with war crimes, because that guy he doesn't care if the enemy tries. He'll just fucking obliterate them. It's made by weak, limp-dicked, mostly European cucks, all right, that are going to sit there and with their feminoid nonsense be like, well, actually, you're not actually allowed to win wars anymore. You only have to completely cut yourself out to the terrorists. Now, the terrorists are allowed to do terrorism because they're terrorists. But you're not allowed to fight back because of this piece of paper that I have signed by the Great Duke of Zimbabwe, all right? Get the fuck out of here with this shit. Now, again, tiring. But this was a slaughter. Now, the president, Donald J. Trump, dropped bombshells on Cuba.
Care of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And as soon as that's done on our way back, we'll just make a little brief stopover. We'll take care of it. We want to help them out. Look.
Listen, we are humanitarians. Grass has a life like people.
We have a lot of people that voted for Trump. Whether they did or not, it didn't matter. But I had 95% of the Cubans voted for me. They're unbelievable people. They're energetic. They're entrepreneurial. You know, some of the richest people in Miami are Cuban. They're unbelievable. And I'm going to take good care of them. I'm going to let them go back to their land.
That's
They
right.
want to be back with family. You know, they have a lot of
That's
family
my
over
guy.
there.
That's right. Liberating every country in the world except for America, because the Democrats are honestly more dastardly and evil than the Islamic Republic of Iran sometimes. I'm obviously being hyperbolic, but this shit's crazy.
They've been treated very badly by Cuba. But we're going to treat Cuba well, and we're going to let our people go back.
That's
and
right.
Let them invest in Cuba if they
On the way back, and that's how it works. We have our guys. They're already deployed. They're out there in front of Iran. Not sure if we'll make a deal or if we'll blow them up. Regardless, on our way back, we'll make a short pit stop.
So we have
Liberate
some,
Cuba
we
from
have
the
some very good
commies.
plans for Cuba. I think, you know, we have to get rid of the regime was very tough, very nasty. The difference is now they don't have money coming in. They had a lot of money coming in from Venezuela. They don't have any money coming. They had oil coming in. They had money coming in. But we're going to take care of Cuba.
Mr. President, sir. Mr. President.
And they, you know what? They want us to. The people want us there so bad.
That's right. And the people of Iran want us to. It's almost like we're the good guys and they're the bad guys, and therefore it's good that we win and it's good that they lose. And yeah, it's not hypocritical, okay? Every leftoid in the world, you're such a hypocrite because you want us to have nukes and you don't want them to have nukes. Yes, because we're the good guys and they're the bad guys. So yes, I like when the good guys are strong and I like when the bad guys are not strong. You're such a hypocrite. You're such a hypocrite. So Rubio dropped the nuke on Cuba. For decades, Cuba's been the world capital of the radical left-wing terrorism. The regime in Havana has recruited, trained, and backed violent Marxist, third-worldist movements across our hemisphere and beyond. Today, we are targeting the network that enables and funds Cuba's subversive and radical operations. Pursuant to sanctions, authorities created by President Trump's groundbreaking Cuba executive order, I am designating the following entities. Oh, dude, this is so good. Ministry of Revolutionary Armed Forces of Cuba, Cuban Institute of Friendship with Peoples, Amistur Cuba, Committees for the Defense of the Revolution, Minera La Victoria. Anyone providing services to these sanctioned actors is at risk of sanctions themselves. Foreign banks, other companies that provide services to these entities should freeze those activities. The Trump administration will no longer tolerate radical Marxist regimes in our hemisphere seeking to threaten U.S. national security and engage with influence operations to export their poisonous and evil, quote, revolution to our country and around the world. Hassan Piker is going to jail. Hassan Piker is going to jail. Dude, I love how they like make these like fucking terror organizations and then they call it the Cuban Institute of Friendship with Peoples. No, we don't fucking care about your titles. Your woke ass, gay ass, commie ass titles. All right, none of that shit matters. Your words are irrelevant. You're gonna fucking die. Yeah, I'm a good man. I am a good man, actually. And a lot of people don't think that, and that's because they're gay. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Actually, toppling communist regimes, it's exactly what Luffy would do. Isn't that right, Hassan? Dude, just absolutely diabolical. You thought Rubio was done cooking for the day? Oh, not even close. On June 4th, the world marks 37 years since the Chinese Communist Party ordered its troops to attack thousands of peaceful demonstrators in and around Tiananmen Square. Those who sacrificed to uphold their unalienable rights of free expression and peaceful assembly will be vindicated someday. Bro is dropping bombs on China. Holy shit, I'm holy. Bro's been cooking. Marcus Rubio, first of his name, will be the next president of the United States, very likely. I'm not even gonna lie. This is insane. This is absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. He's not scared at all. Everyone's terrified of China. Honestly, even Trump is a little bit, hesitant to insult China. And I get it. It's for negotiation purposes. But the moral clarity from Marcus Rubio is astounding. Now, Marcus Rubio, he was in Congress also. And the whole thing was a shit show. I wasn't even going to show it. Someone made a top 5 compilation ranking the worst crash outs from Secretary Rubio's hearing. And just understand, they have nothing on this guy. They cannot defeat him. He is Democrat poison. All right? You can't do the Trump derangement syndrome shit for Rubio because Rubio's just on it.
Not once did you mention Ukraine when you were prioritizing the achievement that's there. Now let me go on.
Tried to stay under
Let
5
me go
minutes.
on. Oh, you tried to stay. Yeah, please.
I
It's
can
not
answer
funny.
that.
It's not funny, Secretary. Now,
What's not
You didn't even mention Ukraine. You didn't do a land acknowledgement for the Native Americans.
in Iran now.
well, you don't.
In
this is-
Iran
you
now,
can't even
I
answer
reclaim
questions
my
here.
time. I reclaim my time.
Yeah, I warn you right now. I don't do yes
I
or no
reclaim my
answers.
time.
Yeah,
So if
well,
you- these
I
are
only have
complex
5
questions.
minutes. I know when
Well,
you
so
were
do
the
I.
senator, you know
I
about
never
this
did yes or
business,
no answers
and I
to
know
people.
you're trying to go out so that you can run out my 5 minutes. That's a simple
I'm trying to
question.
run out your 5 minutes. You're running out your 5 minutes.
And just like you couldn't admit that the shoes the president bought you were too big, you clearly don't know what winning means. And not because
This is about the Iran war, by the way. This is about the Iran war. Your shoes are too big. Okay.
facts are unclear to you, it's because telling the truth would cost you your job. And the American people are entitled to a Secretary of State who tells them the truth even when the president doesn't want to hear it. And my constituents, our service members, deserve better. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Bro, we still electing women? Damn.
I don't know what shoes she's talking about. What is she talking about?
Hijacked.
I
Come on.
reclaim my time because propaganda ain't going to work with me.
Well, it isn't going to work with me either, and what you're saying is propaganda. One of the aid flow into Hamas's hands.
Reclaiming my time. The aid was
Here we
held
go with
up
the
at
reclaiming
the
our
border
time.
by Israel, and
You
you
got to
know
fix
it.
your rules here. You can't even answer a question.
And giving contracts with no transparency
Can I
is
borrow your
exactly
time
the
to
reason
answer?
why you shut down USAID. So practice what you preach. I've yielded.
USAID has nothing to do with Rubio, by the way.
To scream now too?
Why is she leaving? I'm going to answer answer her questions.
She screams at him, says something completely irrelevant, and she leaves.
I will.
She leaves.
Oh, okay, I got it. Well, thank you for coming.
Bro, it's just miserable. These guys, it's honestly insane. It's one of the wildest things I've ever seen. Now, my favorite thing is watching leftists who have zero actual moral relativism whatsoever. They don't understand basic moral principles at all. So they all got together to do this debate. All right, they got these three leftoids ganging up on this guy and this Will Chamberlain fellow. And honestly, it was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. All right, it really was.
But I want to answer the sort of 2 points you highlighted from that clip that seems sort of, I think, kind of bizarre and poorly founded. One argument was apparently that because 200 children died, that therefore the war is a disaster. Well, then, if that's the metric we're using, why is it not a disaster that we didn't intervene and save the 40,000 people that were murdered by the Iranians prior to the war? And then,
so wait, can I respond to that? Can I respond to that directly?
Sure.
Why would it not, if civilian death is disastrous as it relates to the Islamic Republic of Iran killing their own people, why would it not be disastrous for the United States to also kill Iranian civilians?
It's sad when people die, but there are casualties in war. Again, I feel like we're dealing with absolute babies. We're dealing with actual babies that don't understand any form of principled thinking. I'm not even going to lie with you. Not all death is equal, obviously. And by that, I mean, if you kill someone in self-defense, or if you just decide to murder someone in the subway, like Irina Zarutska, obviously those two instances involved someone dying, but obviously there was no moral equivalency there. So, too, Iran massacring 40,000 of their own people because they are actual fascist pedophiles, all right, is unimaginably worse and horrible in every possible way compared to Donald Trump actually having a war against a power that's trying to kill us, where collateral damage happens by accident. You can't possibly compare these things, but in the leftoid mind, none of they support aborting babies, all right? They support killing babies in the womb, all right? I'm not going to expect them to have some sort of moral grandstandy opinion here.
If you acknowledge that civilian deaths...
Well, then, because we would theoretically be saving more, because the collateral damage would be less than the number of people we'd be saving from being murdered by their own regime, obviously.
Except our military intervention has killed 1,700 Iranian civilians.
That sucks. They shouldn't have been doing terrorism. The Islamic Republic shouldn't have been doing terrorism. What am I supposed to say? According to this guy, you should never, ever, ever engage in any form of defensive war whatsoever, because there might be casualties. So therefore, you are just as bad as they are. I don't know what happened to, like, young men that left their testicles in the past generation, but this is actually just sad. This is sad and humiliating.
We haven't saved anyone.
Oh, so we're only 5% of the way there in the same time period.
So wait, so your standard is as long as we kill under the amount that the Iranian government has killed of their own people.
I didn't say that.
No, obviously collateral damage in war is not morally equivalent to massacring your own people. I love how he doesn't understand that. Like, the left is just a master at taking words and just making believe they don't even know what the words mean.
I think 5% is a pretty dramatic reduction, don't you think? It's dramatically less, right? And that's also not counting over time the 1,000 Americans that have died at the hands of the Iranian regime over the last 30 years.
So why exactly is that a standard, right? If we acknowledge that civilian deaths
no, this is your standard. You're the one who said it was a disaster because 200 civilians died.
Yes, civilians that otherwise would have been alive.
Okay, so 40,000 civilians died in the interim. Why was it not a disaster that we let that happen?
It was a disaster we can say that it was a disaster that happened, but there's no evidence that there's no evidence that our military intervention could have actually saved those people, because considering the fact we've now engaged militarily with Iran, we've engaged militarily.
We just have to let the Iranians murder everybody they want.
Well, putting aside, all right, hang on one second. Hang on one.
And then it just becomes a clown show, essentially. But watching the pandering is insane. Bro stutters through explaining how actually it's morally equivalent that there was collateral damage by accident in a war that was started because they threatened us and killed thousands of our people, and them massacring 40,000 of their own people while they shut off the internet so no one could hear them scream. This is the leftist mind. They have zero moral values that they could actually stand on. Murdering your baby in the womb, that's a good thing. Killing a terrorist pedophile, holy shit, that's a war crime. You should be impeached. Literally, every time. Now, of course, Candace Owens goes to Russia and does press interviews in Russia because she is literally, in my opinion, a foreign agent. I'm really glad that we have our representatives in Russia explaining to the Russians why America should not be backing Ukraine. I don't know if this is treason, but this is fucking insane.
A lot of conversation I've been having on my podcast, and Americans are really getting tired of funding, not knowing where money is going, learning that oligarchs are buying yachts. So we think about it at a practical level in terms of our taxes and where our money is going, which is never quite explained.
Now, the truth is, she's right. And I agree with her in this regard. And she's not right about everything. She thinks that Jews invented dinosaurs to trick Christians into thinking that God is fake. Okay? So, call a spade here. She is right. Americans are tired of not knowing where our money is going. We are tired of funding all these foreign wars that we have nothing to do with, that don't benefit us whatsoever. But I'm not going to fucking Russia to do press conferences to explain to the Russians how America is tired of the American government. What the fuck is this?
But beyond that, we're trying to focus on a lot of home issues.
Like, that's crazy. I don't know how people don't find this absolutely insane. So she does a Moscow propaganda tour, and then she is explaining to enemy media, giving statements as to why we should not be helping Ukraine. What? Now, again, she's not the brightest, all right? She calls herself an isolationist, as you know, because she doesn't want to fund foreign things. So I'm glad we should be able to hear it from her mouth.
I don't want you to make friends. I want a person who's going to be out there saying, we're going isolationist, okay?
Isolationalist, ladies and gentlemen. She's just an isolationalist. That's her politics.
I don't care about women marching in the streets.
So that all of our politicians just oblige them. And yeah, so if we're going to do it, like if we're going to do the thing and we're going to say we're not going to be isolationists, a lot of
we're not isolationists, guys.
Americans feel depressed by that because we're
just... And Russia was like, yes, we are going to fund this one.
Going, when are we allowed to just be isolationists? Right? When are we allowed to focus on what's happening here in America?
She's actually fucking stupid. She's like retarded.
Be isolationist. Be isolationalist.
Bro, that's miserable. That's actually bad. But hey, at least she didn't mispronounce any words while she was in Russia, right? Not like she mispronounced Moscow, right? There's no way she mispronounced Moscow.
But I was in Moscow, and Moscow was positively stunning. It defied, I didn't really have any expectations, but if I had any, they would have been defied by just how clean, how safe.
So while she's doing propaganda for Russia, she's also talking about how Moscow is beautiful. It's like Costco, except it's like Costco for Muslims. So it's Moscow. I hope you understand. All right, now here's another one of our retards funded by Russia, allegedly. Buckley Carlson, Tucker Carlson's brother. It's pretty weird how they have so much in common.
And obviously, the similarities between Americans and Russia, we could go on and on about this, and I'm certainly...
What? No, what?
Happy to, but just the fact that it is a primarily white Christian country, which has been...
You mean like all of Europe? Why Russia specifically, sir?
Made an enormous contribution on the world literature and architecture, and it has a very resilient people who value life, I would say.
Russia values life? Yeah, that's not how I would describe Russia in if I had to in one sentence.
They've had a lot more hardship than we have in America, but again, they have a leader who represents their interests and they respond to that leadership. And I wish we had it here, but they're not our enemy. And again, it's not a unipolar world anymore. It's not just America. We can't dictate what goes on. We have to...
this is insane that we have all these guys that are just actual commie Russia shills everywhere. Now, I'm really glad we're shilling Russia. Let's see what Putin had to say about our conflict with Iran.
The final answer to this question. But there is no doubt that the people of Iran has proven that its interests should be taken into account.
Wrong! The people of Iran fucking hate the Islamic regime that's been torturing them for 47 years. All right, you get cheap weaponry from Iran, okay? So they're your little jihadi allies. All right, that's why you're supporting them. The people of Iran hate Iran. All right, this guy, who's an Iranian, by the way, I'm pretty sure, says one of the most stupid things Vlad said this week. The people of Iran are not fighting America and Israel. Vlad's Islamic occupying friends are the ones fighting the West, which is obviously true if you actually pay attention. Now, Hezbollah terror chief Naim Qassem rejects the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Lebanon. What? But I was told that Israel's the one that keeps rejecting the ceasefire. So, of course, Israel says it will continue operations in Lebanon because they keep getting bombed, right? Every single day, there's more missiles. And the UN decided they're going to step up. A UN peacekeeper died early this morning from critical injuries sustained when mortar shells struck his position near Marjayoun, southeastern Lebanon. Who Who fired the mortar shells? Israel doesn't fire mortar shells. Of course, the UN terrorist supporters, they don't stop. It's this whole long thing. Tragically, the guy died, yada, yada. They never say who did. Impressive title. Very nice. Who shot the mortar? It was Hezbollah. So Hezbollah terrorists murdered a UN peacekeeper, and we don't actually have any information about that here. In fact, the UN is just out here condemning Israel. Well, like, bro, stop. Right? It's like, I feel like it's this every single day on social media. If you can't free the Palestinian prisoners, then do not remain silent about them. 2.4 million views. No, the poor Palestinian prisoners. No. Oh, never mind. This is just a post from 2019, actually. This is the humiliating end of the caliphate because Daesh terrorists were facing justice after being handed over by the SDF to Iraq's armed forces. Oh, this was just Iraqis. Oh, my bad. Oh, my. So it had nothing to do with the thing that you were just lying about a second earlier and getting 2.4 million views on? Interesting. This is basically the UN strategy, actually. Glad we could see it in full force. But yes, my opinion on politics is very simple, actually. Killing terrorists is good, and getting funding from foreign adversaries to undermine our nation is bad. Actually, eliminating the terrorists that are trying to kill us is good, and funding infinite foreign wars that don't benefit us at all is not good. And I am apparently, according to all these guys, I am the disingenuous one. All the people that are getting funded from Russia and Iran and all this shit, they're the true America first. They should let the jihadis get their nukes. We should force Trump to end the war. That's right. We should get together and do like these gay ass LGBT style solidarity movements where we try to get Trump to stop the war before getting a peace deal done. So Iran could basically, I guess, get off scot-free. I guess that's the purpose here. The propaganda is insane, and the barbarians are in the Shire. They are behind the walls. And it's not just orcs. There are a couple of Sarumans as well. Yeah, it's pretty bad shit. Actually, I love America, and I want our enemies to die. I know, it's a really hot take. Every leftist in the room trying to do their moral equivalency arguments. Oh, but civilians died in a war that was started because they're terrorists that have been trying to kill us. No. Anyway, women should have the right to murder their babies while they're still in the womb. Really glad we got leftist moral virtue signaling, ladies and gentlemen. But doing the right thing will cause innocent people to die, so we should just let the bad people continue to massacre their own people in silence and build nuclear weapons to kill us. Leftoids, ladies and gentlemen. Now, on the streets of the great US of A, there is a lot going on. A lot. And by a lot, I mean all the things seem to be happening at the same time. Leftists caught funding racist people so that they could drum up fake racism, so that they could then be the hero savior anti-racists while they threaten people to take them out. Stolen elections in California and the results of bad elections literally everywhere. So this is Nick Shirley. Someone approached him and threatened his life in public.
You're
Islamophobic! No! You mean this Nick Shirley guy is exposing fraudsters? Well, that's Islamophobic. Now, to be clear, I'm not the person that you should be asking to discuss these things because I am anti-pedophilia, and Muslims hate me for it. So, welcome to New York, ladies and gentlemen.
Awful people. How have I ever said awful people? Yes, you have. How? Yes, you have. I've seen your videos. I've seen your videos. The way you framed it is bullshit. Hey, fuck you too. Thank you. How did I frame it? That was bullshit. There's a bunch of fucking racists over here. Bunch of
racist, Islamophobic.
Fucking racists over here. Fuck you.
Talk. If they say silence, be quiet.
Yeah, that's what they want. That's what they want. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to say?
That's what they
want. What do you want to say? I'm listening.
Okay, how am I racist or Islamophobic?
Dude, what do I got to pull up 90 clips of you?
Me saving taxpayer dollars?
Saving taxpayer dollars. You know what, man? Fuck you. And get out of New York, man.
Get out of New York. This is our country now. That's right. It's halal country, ladies and gentlemen. We elected a Muslim, and you're Islamophobic.
In Florida, where are you from? Where do you live?
America. What makes you so upset?
Fuck you, too.
What makes
Seriously,
you so
fuck you. You're lucky. You know, it's really smart you have a fucking bodyguard. It's really fucking smart. Yeah, you're right.
Why is it smart that he has a bodyguard?
Because there are crazy people like me that don't like racists. That would fucking do something about it.
What would he do about it if he didn't have a bodyguard? This is a threat of violence, by the way.
Do something about it. Oh my god, dude. You want to pull up 90 clips of you?
Pull up one clip. One clip. Pull one.
Hey, Nick Shirley's a Islamophobic racist over here.
I'm gonna save you money.
Fuck you.
I'm just gonna be real. I think calling someone a racist in New York or London or one of these like actual Islamic captured countries or cities or whatever is more dangerous than calling someone the N-word. Like, bro, it's like it's a death sentence. Look what just happened to Henry Novak in England.
Fuck you.
Gotta save you money.
I have to save us money. All I ever show is where our money's going. Yo, fuck you. Well, the fraud not real? The fraud's not real. Not the way you framed it. Not the way you framed it. Sure. Sure isn't. Dude, you live in a fucking...
You're so Islamophobic, you don't even want to let us rape you? Oh my god, the Islamophobia.
There's gonna be fucking things that fall through the cracks sometimes. It's not the way you frame it. How? What have you done different?
His video directly got a bunch of people arrested, by the way.
How do you help society? Oh, I help society? Okay. I want you to go into any leftist organization, show them my photo, they'll know who I am. Okay, makes perfect sense. That doesn't make sense. Hey, give me one clip about me being racist, huh? I have a fucking rec league basketball game at 7, walking the fucking dog. You want me to fucking go through this shit now and fucking find you? Yeah, look at the way you're treating your dog.
Look at him dragging his dog. Everyone that calls you Islamophobic is just mean to dogs. It's probably a coincidence.
Why? My dog's fine. Yeah. You gotta strangle your dog. Look at this dog. He's afraid of him. Yeah, the dog's fine. Wait, you wanna say hi? Want to say hi to Nick Shirley? Yeah, but explain how I'm Want to say hi to Nick Shirley? Oh my god, what? Give me one example. Give me one example, sir. Oh my god, bro. I gotta fucking go. Fuck you, though.
You don't give examples. Silence and obey. Silence and obey.
Go hang out the leaders, my own shit. Yo, someone's gonna fucking find you. I promise you.
Someone's gonna find you, I promise you.
For what?
Oh my god.
Someone's gonna find you one day. Right here. Right here. Crazy.
Psych.
Did you see that, bro? Someone's gonna find you while signaling a gunshot to the head. Oh my god.
Thank you very much.
Man, I love your work.
Oh, thank you.
You're awesome. Can I get a picture of you?
Yeah, so this is just shit you have to deal with if you're right wing, by the way. Leftists will charge you with the crime of Islamophobia because you're like, let's say, anti-pedophilia or something, which is honestly, that's pretty Islamophobic if you ask me. So, and they make a good point. And then that justifies your murder, actually. And this is just completely taking over the streets of all these blue cities, all these blue, very pro-sanctuary cities, all right? And it's everywhere. So this is a Muslim man screaming Allahu Akbar and jumping onto a bus. And everyone obviously thinks he's going to blow it up because, like, because like, Muslims do that. That's just New York City. You have a Muslim guy dressed all in like one of his fucking bathrobe things with a backpack. He jumps onto a train, starts screaming Allahu Akbar. Scares the shit out of everybody. And guess what? Guess why this was recorded. Are you ready? Muslim man screams Allahu Akbar, throws a bag into New York subway. Instant panic. People immediately start running for fear for their lives. You know, obviously, duh. Right? Whenever you hear a Christian saying Christ is king, you don't immediately think he's going to blow up your bus. All right? When you think a Jew, when you hear a Jew saying Baruch Hashem, right, you don't think he's going to blow up the bus. You're Allahu Akbar, all of a sudden, you know, that does some things. Now, he just stands there, he thinks it's funny, and he wonders why no other religious group causes this level of fear and anxiety. He then claimed it was a prank to expose Islamophobia. That's right, bro's doing bomb threats as a prank, because he wanted to expose Islamophobia. But this is the level of delusion that you have to deal with these people. So you're Islamophobic if a Muslim man jumps on the bus and throws a backpack on the ground and screams Allahu Akbar. If you run away, you're just Islamophobic, actually. Man, wild. All right, and this is just every day in New York. It's a daily occurrence. All right, so this is a lady on the New York subway.
Jews are eating kids. Did you guys smell the kids?
What? What?
Kids. Yeah. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Jews are eating kids.
Right, so she just assaults some random Jewish lady on the bus and says Jews are eating kids.
Whoa. It's okay for her to eat a kid, but I can't choke her down.
It's okay for her to eat kids. Again, I don't know where this came from, to be honest. But I guess it's the same outlet that says that Jews are training dogs to rape Palestinians, because that was a real New York Times article. Is the same people that are saying this?
I was just assaulted. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she could eat kids, but I can't choke her out. This is just what you have to expect in New York. This is just modern day New York City. Complete insanity. Just in, New York passed a bill to replace mother and father with gender neutral terms. Now that sounds pretty stupid. So I looked it up and they changed mother to gestating parent. Holy shit, dude. What are we doing? I have no words to describe how I feel. This is insane. Now, the craziest thing is, happy Pride Month, by the way. You know what the brown and black stripes on the Pride flag are? They're for brown and black people. Congratulations, brown and black people. You are now part of the LGBT community. I didn't make the rules, okay? But y'all are gay now. That's right. They just gayed all the black people. Sorry, guys. Like, listen, I thought you guys were cool, but now you're gay. Not my problem. New York Democrats just voted to erase mother and father. Governor Kathy Hochul will be replacing mother with gestating parent. This was literally on Fox News. Right? Everyone's talking about this because the New York bill redefines parental language. Luke, I am your non-gestating parent. This is just what we have to deal with now, I guess. We just have to deal with infinite retards. Then these guys are going to tell you the right way to lead your life, all right? But never forget the chart, okay? So this is the chart of genders and mental illnesses. Thank you for paying attention to this matter. Now, the Donald has been saying a lot of interesting things regarding the elections that just took place in California. New York and California. It's two sisters. Sisters in gay, all right? Let's go. Let's talk about the epicenter of gay for a second.
Just don't want cheating in our elections. And you see it happening in California. Those numbers are coming down rapidly. They found a lot of mail-in ballots last night, shockingly. So we don't want that. Then we added best of. This is best of Trump. No men in women's sports. No.
Right. So this is basically the Save America Act. And one of those things are no mail-in ballots. Because why the fuck? Now, the reason why the left loves mail-in ballots is because they cheat. Because they're liars and cheaters. It's actually really obvious. But no, is there evidence? Well, let's talk about that. So, for some really interesting reason, they literally mentioned on NBC that suspiciously all the mail-in ballots are left-leaning.
Why would those votes, we don't know what they're going to be, but why would the mail-in votes, the later votes, break for Rahman, possibly? Because that is the pattern in California with this system. I mean, we've seen this now probably for about a decade out there. It's those votes that get tabulated after Election Day. They tend to be almost always are heavily Democratic. We've seen this.
Really? That's an interesting thing to admit. Wow, that's wild. Yeah, so as you can see, Spencer Pratt. So the way the elections work in Los Angeles, for example, is the top two end up going in a 1v1 runoff. So it looks like Karen Bass is going to be one of the two that's going to move up. And Spencer Pratt won by a lot, 29-23. That is a pretty massive victory, except for some reason, all the mail-in ballots are voting for her, the third place candidate. And that's pretty interesting. To the point that it looks like it might knock Spencer Pratt out of the top two. Now, LA local news reporters have been cutting the mics off of the actual correspondents talking about ballot loads.
We're now awaiting for a chopper from Van Nuys to land here with those ballots. And
a chopper is landing with the ballots.
Once they do arrive here, they are thrown into these...
And cut off. They shut the mic.
Obviously, we're having issues, unfortunately, with Andres Gutierrez's microphone there.
No one is buying this shit, man. No one is buying it. Oh, we're just having issues with the microphone? Yeah, I'm sure you are. Now, this is, in my opinion, evident. Like, actual evidence of cheating. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. So, Karen Bass and Nithya Raman each increased by about 10,000 votes. Spencer Pratt's numbers stayed exactly the same. So, in over 20,000 of the mail-in ballots, not a single vote went to Spencer Pratt, the right-wing candidate. Now, what are we doing? Hello? Hello? That's impossible. Like, that is an actual numerical anomaly. That's not possible. In fact, the night of the election, everyone knew the outcome, right? So this is the person that came third place, Nithya Raman, the Indian lady, who obviously is the far-left candidate because the far-left votes for foreigners to come in and steal all of our money and give it to little ethnic enclaves and retards. Right? That's basically the leftist policy at this point. So this is her crying because she lost.
Los Angeles is the most magical city in the entire world.
Can you imagine having this be your leader? Like, dog, we're still electing women in 2026.
Win or lose, I am so proud to be an Angelino, and I'm so grateful to
not be in India. We know. Anyway, so Nithya Raman over here is crying because she lost. All right, but now she's on track to actually win the election due to mail-in ballots. So this morning, California was at 58% counted. 15 hours later, it's 56% counted. That's weird. What happened there? All right, look at this. This is the California race. All right, the California governor's race. June 3rd, 10 a.m. As you can see, 57.5% counted. June 4th at 1 a.m., 55% 4.8% counted. How is that possible? How is it possible that it went down? The percent of counted votes went down, unless they're adding ballots specifically for specific candidates. Now, update 17 hours later, and it's still 57% counted. This is fucking insane. This is some third world shit. All right? In Florida, this shit gets done in like 20 minutes. This is insanity. This is crazy. Everyone needs to know what's going on because this is a stolen election. Spencer Pratt got 0 of 24,000 votes in a late night LA ballot drop. 0 of 24,000. A guy getting 30% of support for like the actual city got 0 of 24,000. Astronomically small possibility of this happening, by the way. All right, like this is the kind of thing that quantum physicists would be like, no, that's just actually just not possible. Like this is a lower chance than the chances Palestinians have of actually winning a war. Like this is an astronomically tiny probability. All right, and now it's been 48 hours since California polls closed, and 42% are still left to be counted. So they got this guy, Hilton. He's the guy who is leading the actual California governor race, a Republican, which is why it's taking so long, because they want to steal elections. And he went on the news to actually talk about this.
Describing that they had different buckets they were supposed to put the ballots in after they come in, after Election Day, and they were explicitly told it didn't just have to be a postmark that was on or before Election Day that qualified. If the date was handwritten, that would be okay as well.
Huh?
Did you? So you could just take an envelope, write Election Day. Don't even write the date, just write Election Day. It counts. So until we have a full and complete investigation into California's mail-in ballot counting, their vote processing, their chain of custody, all those buckets, you know, we the people will have serious doubts about whether the will of the voters in California is being respected.
And the question is, how long do we have to wait? Like, my biggest complaint with the Republicans in general is that they left their testicles in their wives' purses. This shit needs to get torn down and abolished, and it really doesn't matter how it's done, all right? They can't claim that they democratically disagree with our opinion to destroy this, because this isn't a democracy. Why should we trust the democratic process when these people just cheat? And everyone with an operational brain understands that they're cheating. Now, Hassan Piker, who obviously goes for the far left candidates, he's been having absolute meltdowns that all the right-wing people in LA have been winning. You know, this is before he realized that, oh, actually, they could just cheat.
Oh my God, it is so black pilling to see. Oh my God, Spencer Pratt cleaning up. Oh my God.
Even
if
he
I
knows.
see 40 in early numbers,
Even he
I will
knows.
I will Brian kill me.
I'm Brian. Please, Spencer Pratt, if you could hear me. And to anyone operating the ballots, Netanyahu, if you could hear me, I have reason to believe that the mail-in ballots are containing secret Iranian information on how to build a nuclear bomb. Netanyahu.
Brian, kill me.
If 40% early voters or not, if I see 40% for Spencer Pratt at any point, I might just die. I might just combust. The real black.
If you could hear me, Netanyahu, I have reason to believe that the actual vote counting facilities in the Hamas base. Please, can we do something about this, Netanyahu? We need Spencer Pratt to win now more than ever.
Pill that I received was this, okay? 28% for Spencer Pratt early on. It's fucked. Now that there's a Republican at the top of the ticket, they're going to come out in fucking high-ass numbers. Spencer Pratt now has a better opportunity. The stupid fucking 870-year-old that like signaled to get the Republican into the top 2 in the runoffs might actually lose her fucking seat now because it's going to draw turnout. It's all down ballot from there.
Look how mad he
Night
is,
started
bro.
off incredible with a massive W and is ending with disastrous outcomes for my state.
W, let's go. Let's go, gamers. Hell yeah. All right, so now after every candidate he endorsed or campaigned with lost their election yesterday in California, he says anyone that voted for Spencer Pratt should kill themselves.
I would never say kill yourself. I would never say kill yourself to someone who is excited at the prospect of Spencer Pratt potentially, getting a decent chunk of votes in Los Angeles, California. I would never say you should kill yourself with a gun to a person that would be excited at the prospect of something like that. I would never say that at all. I don't think it's appropriate. I disavow statements such as that. Okay? And most importantly, I would never do that. Just so you guys understand, I would never do that, and you shouldn't do that either. However,
yeah. So my point is Spencer Pratt needs to win this one. Then you get leftists glazing it. Oh, he's saying he wouldn't tell people to kill themselves. Yo, leftists are so smart. These guys will go out there and then tell people to kill Donald Trump, and then they'll say it's a false flag whenever they try to kill Donald Trump. We understand how you operate. You just don't believe in words. Words mean nothing to you people. Actual demons. And it's pretty awesome that they do this for us to have commentary. Anyway, this is a bonus image of Hassan Piker wiping his mouth with the tissue he's using to pick his nose, W. Honestly, now Hassan Piker is actually going after his critics. He wants to sue more Pegasus, a friend of mine who's been making a diabolical video series. Some would argue the greatest series of all time. All right, a legendary series, some would even say. He wants to sue him because he's so giddy about the idea that there's a death penalty in Singapore, right? This is the free speech warrior. All right, just understand. Now, Hassan Piker has threatened to sue me in the past as well. He obviously didn't because he slandered me and he would lose the lawsuit for sure. So I don't think he's actually going to sue Pegasus just because he threatened to sue me too. And there's another reason why I don't think he's going to sue Pegasus. It's because how likely is it that Hassan Piker would be banned from Singapore? It is almost 100% certainty Hassan Piker would be banned from entering Singapore if he applied for a visa or attempted to clear border customs. Yeah, because they don't like terrorism. It's like, no. So yeah, bro's not suing Pegasus, that's for sure. But he is definitely threatening him because that's what he does, because he doesn't believe in freedom of speech. He thinks that it's a violation of free speech to prevent him from entering England, but it's not a prevention of free speech to sue people criticizing you. Like it's so hilarious to watch this guy twist his brain into little pretzels, because he actually stands for nothing, actually. Now, Donald Trump says, watch California, everybody. Our election process is as bad or worse than any third world country. The biggest difference is they count their votes much faster. They don't wait 7 days to tell you who won, rigging the election during each and every one of them. Americans are ashamed of what is happening, and Mr. President is actually completely correct here. Now, to understand exactly how bad the PSYOP is, right, you have people crashing out, no, the FBI is arresting judges who help immigrants evade ICE. Is this what you voted for? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's fucking go, guys. Let's go. Let's do it. Not soon enough, ladies and gentlemen. We take those. We take those. Now, Homeland Security says the Delaney Hall riot, that's the riot in New Jersey, against ICE, obviously, is part of a highly coordinated campaign of violence against our officers. Our message is clear. We will find, arrest, and prosecute to the fullest extent of the law any of these rioters who threaten or assault our law enforcement. They will not deter ICE from carrying out the American people's mandate to arrest and deport the worst of the worst. No, actually, we want to deport all of them? No, listen, guys. I see you downplaying it. I don't like it. I don't like your downplaying that. That's why I've always said Trump is like a 90s liberal. But he is paving the way. He is paving the way for a 2028 fucking hyper fascist. I'll be real here. We're gonna get a guy in office that's exactly what the left thinks Trump actually is, and it's gonna be awesome. All right. So, so basically, he's saying that it's part of a highly coordinated campaign of violence, which is terrorism, and we'll see what that's all about. A bombshell report confirmed that the group organizing riots and agitators at Delaney Hall have $1 billion in annual revenue. Look at this,
individuals that came in from Portland, not from New Jersey, came from Portland to lead. We've seen that they've been well supplied. We've seen Antifa flags being flown, and once the state police came out, and which, by the way, awesome group of guys. They understand crowd control very well, and they started pushing the individuals back after they warned them. Started making arrests. You saw that the situation quickly got under control. And for us, when we first started calling, they were simply saying they didn't have the resources. And it's interesting to me that they finally found the resources and started clearing their streets. We can control our building.
Interesting.
We can provide security for our own building, but if the city and state streets, that is their job to do.
And they don't do nearly enough. Now, it seems like they are making billions through nonprofits that are getting tax benefits to fund terrorism in our nation. That's what it seems like. Now, the SPLC paid for KKK cross-burning, robes and hoods, recruitment, living expenses, and racist merch, and a lot more in an explosive new indictment. The SPLC is the Southern Poverty Law Center. It is a socialist movement. Elon Musk says, yup. All right, we got Jesus. The SPLC organization organized the Charlottesville rally and paid $300,000 to transport people there. And Elon Musk says, yup. All right. The DOJ announces that the SPLC paid Klan members a monthly salary to stay in the KKK and recruit new members. That's a nonprofit would do this. Is sick and sad. What were they thinking? We all know. They were trying to organize fake racism in order to create their gigantic movement. Yes, the SPLC is a criminal organization. Now, I'm sure there's many more of these leftist organizations that are funding these fucking literal false flags. SPLC paid Klan members to stay in the KKK. Like, these are the anti-racist socialists that are paying Klan members to do racist shit so that they could raise money and push their agendas. It's insane. And Rubio has been acknowledging this on another front as well.
But there's no doubt that when you have people showing up with pre-printed signs 24 hours after Nicolas Maduro was arrested and extradited to the United States, that's not an organic movement. Someone's paying for that.
Obviously, within 24 hours of capturing Maduro, they had pre-printed, mass-produced signs saying "Free Maduro" and "Hands off Venezuela." Like, it's so obviously a psyop. It's so obviously created by retards, and we need to know about that. Now, the left, instead of doing any of that, they're busy trying to prop up Graham Plattner. This is the guy with the Nazi tattoo that cheated on his wife with like 6 women. Now, 3 women who dated Graham Plattner, the Democratic candidate for Senate in Maine, told the New York Times they found his actions intimidating and disturbing. Okay, well, what happened? What's intimidating and disturbing? Well, this is one of his famous quotes. "I would rape them to show them that I'm dominant." Democrat candidate. Listen, I always said they were the party of rape. That's why they import all the rapists. But this is crazy. What are we even doing here? This guy's supposed to be the woke guy. The woke guy would rape them to show he's dominant. Women who dated Graham Plattner for years says he 1. Regularly grabbed her by her shoulders. 2. Pulled her out of her car by her wrist. Once twisted her arm behind her back and locked her in a bedroom until she went to sleep. Like to sharpen his axe while watching TV. Fantasized about killing people. Declared he would rape anyone who broke into his house, but not in a gay way, only to dominate them. And referred to women as hatchet wounds. Right? This is the progressive candidate, by the way, who suspiciously is really pro-Islam. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird how this guy actually really doesn't seem like he shares a lot of the progressive values that all these people claim to have? It's almost like he doesn't, and he just supports terrorist organizations, actually, and hates our country. So Kyle Kulinski, this is like one of Hassan's dick suckers. The New York Times is basically campaigning for Collins at this point. That's the person against Graham Plattner. They're a complete disgrace. Cancel your subscription to that rag. No, so bro's out here. He's crying. This is the same guy that said that he would still vote for Graham Plattner even if he had sex with his mom. So Kyle Kulinski over here crying about the New York Times doing journalism. I don't even know what to say. He's just mad that the truth is out there. He's like, I hate the truth. So therefore, we should bury it and vote for the fucking Nazi jihadist. Let's go, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Plattner campaign admitted he would rape men, but not in a gay way. Has got to be one of the wildest quotes ever. He said this a lot. If anyone broke in here, I would rape them, she recalled. Saying that he added, it would say, in a sexual way, not in a gay way. I don't even know what that means. He said I would rape them to show them I'm dominant, she said. Bro, this guy fucking sucks. This guy sucks. Democrat darling. And of course, on clockwork, right on time, the motion to attach the Save America Act to the budget reconciliation bill has failed, with 4 Republicans voting with the Democrats against the SAVE Act. If you think that we aren't literally infiltrated by radicals and retards, you would be wrong. We need a massive overhaul of the, specifically Republican Party. And we're getting one. As the boomers leave and die out, and listen, not praying for their deaths or anything. I want them to retire happily and move to Puerto Rico with all the other fucking losers. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene and whatever the fuck his name, Thomas Massey. Oh no, Costa Rica, whatever. One of these places. They move away, they left, they're gone. Nothing against the people of Puerto Rico or Costa Rica, except for Marjorie Taylor Greene, who sucks. You know, let's vote against the bill that forces people to actually show photo ID, a thing that 85% of America actually supports. You know, this is also the bill that'll shut down transgender, mutilizing children and shit like that. And it votes. This is the one that that goes against all that. And Republicans are joining with the Democrats to make sure that shit doesn't pass. All right. Well, the good news is the Overton window is shattered, not shifted, shattered. All right. Our generation, the younger generation of right-wing people in America, are really tired of this shit. And this shit's going to end. Now, one of the big losers in Congress, Thomas Massey, decided that he's going to do like this whole big thing. On June 8th, I will speak on the floor of the House to honor and memorialize the brave crew of the USS Liberty who died and were wounded by an unprovoked attack by Israel on June 8th, 1969. By accident, as was proven by 40 separate investigations. Like, we have people around the world that have maliciously killed and murdered our soldiers in horrible, atrocious ways. Maliciously and on purpose. I wonder what could possibly be the reason why Thomas Massie decided that he's going to dedicate a day for the people that were killed in an accidental attack by Israel while they were defending themselves from 8 separate armies in 1967. I wonder what this could possibly be about. Bro's going to go out there and read a list of names, and it's not going to be the Epstein list? Bro, is Thomas Massie a pedophile protector? I love how I literally called this. The moment he lost his election, I was like, all right, get ready. For the next 6 months, we're going to need to deal with this guy doing the Jews did all the things, and get ready. He's going to launch a great podcast. It's going to be amazing. Very excited. We'll see him on like Theo Vaughn and Candace Owens and all these other guys very soon. Listen, we may have lost a terrible congressman who voted against funding ICE and border security, but we gained a podcaster, and that's what's really important. Man, I wonder why the entire leftist media came together to try to get Thomas Massie to win his election. And man, I wonder why he lost. It's probably the Jews. It's probably the Jews. Probably had nothing to do with the fact that he voted against ICE in the most pro-Trump district in the fucking country. Yeah, it was probably the Jews. All I have to say is, if it was the Jews, W Jews, let's fucking go Jews. Keep doing the Jews. Keep getting absolutely terrible anti-American candidates to lose, Jews. Let's go, Jews. Now, the United Kingdom is on fire. Everyone is rebelling against the government for obvious reasons. TikTok has just banned the hashtag White Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter remains in place. It's probably a coincidence, right? 2015, you're a racist. Wait, what? 2020, you're a racist. Fuck off. This is just the overall opinion of the majority of people now. At least that I know. Your words, your labels, your shit, it means nothing. It's completely irrelevant. Thank God. And I have been working very hard to normalize this shit. We have created an ecosystem where it is viable to actually be a normal human being and not be afraid of the woke mob. One of the major reasons why I want to be outspoken about this and normalize reality instead of the fake reality that all the, transgender pro-jihad leftoids create is simply put, because one of the major reasons why so many normal, rational people refuse to actually engage with this conversation, to say, yeah, actually, obviously, men can't be women. I know that because I'm not retarded and I have eyes. In order to destroy this entire simulacrum that they have created, that we are forced to inhabit, you have to destroy it by normalizing the alternative. Yeah, abortion's murder, and men can't be women, and I don't believe all women, and crime statistics aren't racist, and we are tearing this shit down. Brick by brick, brick by brick, brick by... All right, so anyway, the Department of State, and I was so happy to see this. So this is Marco Rubio's State Department. Ideological conditioning and two-tiered policing are glaring symptoms of civilizational decline. They must be rejected across the West. The United States sends our condolences to the family of Henry Novak and the people of the United Kingdom at this troubling time. This is awesome, by the way. Now, a lot of people are really mad. Oh my God, I can't believe that America's getting involved with British politics. Every leftist on the planet is super mad about this because why is it your business? Yeah, I know that the situation is an Indian man stabbed a white guy 5 times, called the police. The police came. The Indian guy said that white guy was racist, so they arrested the white guy, and he bled out and died while in handcuffs, even though he was the victim. Yeah, I know that that's pretty horrible, but hey, it happened in England. Why should America get involved? Listen, all of England decided, and I mean the government, not the people, obviously. I feel like the people are oppressed by the Islamic regime. But I mean, like, the British version of the Ayatollahs, those guys in charge, they all took the knee for George Floyd. They got involved in our shit, and I think absolutely it is more than morally justified to get involved in theirs. And also, I love the British people, and I would love to liberate them from their Islamic overlords. People in the comments just so freaking mad about this, that we're getting involved. No, of course we're getting involved. They're our little brother. We're here to help, brother. Just look at this, bro. For George Floyd, a U.S. citizen, they kneel. For Henry Novak, a U.K. citizen, but nobody's there. Pretty weird. So this is George Floyd protests versus the Henry Novak protests. This is George Floyd.
Like you, I was shocked and angry.
He's shocked. Everything shocked him, by the way. Muslims blow up a church? Shocked. Muslims blow up an ambulance? Shocked. Muslims blow up something else? Shocked. Shocking. Shocking and appalling. You mean they're stabbing people and raping girls? That's crazy.
He's shocked. The killing of George Floyd. Shocked. And the response of President Trump and the U.S. authorities to the peaceful protests. The
peaceful protests, by the way. For those of you who don't know, these are images of the peaceful protest that he's referring to. Anyway.
Like you and the U.S. authorities to the peaceful protests, to people rightly demanding justice, has been...
What justice? The guy died of a fentanyl overdose. What are you doing? We're getting condemned by fucking England? We need to start condemning people, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we need to start doing that. Like, how dare you? Like, our quote-unquote allies are gonna come here and stab us in the back and, like, virtue signal and shit? Nah, dude, I'm so tired of this, man. I wish JD Vance or Marco Rubio, every time you had some unconscionable evil shit happening in England, they would like retweet it and say, our sympathies with the family of this girl who was raped by Islamic migrants or some shit. I don't think, I don't think they have the balls, but I think it would be awesome if they did. Like, why are you getting involved, man? And why do we have to be the bigger person? All right, anyway, let's see his response to the Henry Novak protests.
No matter the pain we feel, there is no justification for more violence and disorder.
What are we even doing here? They literally were peaceful protests for the most part.
The attacks directed towards police officers in Southampton last night were disgraceful and completely unacceptable.
Right, so American people, black people in America that are angry at George Floyd overdosing on fentanyl and attacking police officers, that's justified and totally awesome, according to Keir Starmer. People are mad at the police officers for killing Henry Novak, which is what happened, and that's unconscionable and disappointing.
This is a time for serious work, not rage.
What work? What serious work is going to happen? He's not reforming the police. He's not changing the idea that you have to immediately listen to the migrant. He's not stopping immigration, right? He's not cracking down on violent criminals. Like, what am I supposed to do? He's not actually doing anything.
Let me be clear. We will ensure anyone found engaging in disorder meets the full force of the law.
Right. So anyway, George Floyd protests equals good. Henry Novak protests equals bad. And the reason for this is very simple. It's because he hates white people. And because basically Western culture has been conditioned by globalist forces to hate yourself. I hope you're happy with my analysis, but it's actually really simple. Now, this is just an example of what you have to deal with in Europe. Here's a large group of second and third generation migrants rioting in Brussels, burning buildings, setting shit on fire. And you just have to live with that now, I guess, because you brought them in, and now they're just as German as anybody else here. That's just what they do, I guess. Hey, they have papers, so that makes them totally welcome here. Second and third generation migrants. You mean to tell me that they didn't assimilate? That's so weird. That's so weird. I'm personally very shocked and appalled. So everyone is tired. Everyone is calling out the British government for doing this shit right now.
The stupidest headline of all. Why can we rage against George Floyd's death but not Henry Novak's? Well, I suppose because Henry Novak wasn't killed by the police.
Well, he died. He kind of was. He died in police custody, bleeding out, and then the police literally took the criminal to lunch.
Because of a lack of police care, right?
I think what we're saying...
And also, it's literally the entire policy of the United Kingdom got him killed. The fact that Vikram Digwa, whatever that fucking filth's name is that stabbed Henry Novak, that motherfucker shouldn't have been in England. But he was. So, it literally is the government's fault.
Here is an outpouring of rage that the police didn't turn up at the scene of this crime and automatically presume that the brown people were the criminals and the liars and the white person was...
That's right. So if you're mad that an innocent man was stabbed to death and then handcuffed to bleed out and die by the police officers who didn't believe that he was stabbed because they wanted to be anti-racist and believe the guy who was literally holding the knife at the scene of the crime, you're probably just a racist.
The innocent victim. I think it's that simple. I think they just hate the fact that the police force no longer turn up at the scene of the crime and treat the ethnic minority as the wrong one.
These people here, in my opinion, are just as much of an enemy as any of the invaders are. They are...
No, you're wrong. These people are the patriots. These are the patriots that are actually fucking radicalizing an entire generation. These are the guys that are going to make the next generation the most right-wing generation in the last century.
Are enabling this to happen, purposefully misunderstanding, because yeah, they automatically default assumed that the guy that was laying on the ground and could barely talk.
Look at his hand. Blood is totally drained from this man's body.
Was the one who
and
did.
He died like this while screaming, "I can't breathe! I can't breathe!" And then I've been stabbed, and the police said, "I don't think you have, mate."
Something wrong. They told him that he wasn't stabbed, and then they went with the murderer to go get him food.
Look, I think this is a tragic case, Henry Novak, but we really need to listen to Henry's family because they're asking us as politicians, as leaders, not to use his case to whip up division.
But it's not a one. It's the thing is, though, it's not just Henry Novak. Henry Novak is one of many victims to this systemic issue.
See, he's trying to rein people in because he knows that it's getting out of control. And he knows that this could break containment and actually radicalize people. The fact is that there is a two-tier police state that prioritizes minorities.
That's why we call him two-tier Keir on the channel.
at the expense of the
I
native.
would call him the F slur again, but last time I did that, England had my video taken down and a strike was given to my channel, so we don't call him the F slur anymore.
Of population. This is unfair, and it shouldn't be happening.
Just listen again to what the family are asking of us.
Such a massive high ground opinion, by the way. Huge high ground.
Also, I hate that. I hate seeing the Prime Minister take that family for his own ends, I say. Right? I say it's his own ends.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Kelvin. Right.
And everyone sees it, and no one's falling for the slopaganda.
No, it's not his job. What he wanted to do, could have done, is he could have gone down to a very small place in Southampton, very secretly, and met them there. No, he got them to come to number 10. You know, they're emotionally, I can't imagine what it's like for them. I look upon it as a way of putting Starmer at the heart of something which he didn't change at all, brings the family up to London like that.
With respect, you're twisting Starmer's motives there. Neither of us.
Get out of
God,
here.
a politician, I'm twisting his motive.
Everybody knows. Of course that's
No
what's
one's
happening.
falling for this anymore. It's over. It's over. You lost. You tried to blind us with propaganda for decades, and you lost the war. And now you're scared because you know that the tidal wave that's about to hit is going to sweep you away.
2020, Keir Starmer reacts to the George Floyd video.
Absolutely shocked, as I'm sure everybody was shocked. In particular, just hearing someone almost...
Bro, this guy's everything shocks him. Have you noticed? Have you noticed how everything shocks him? Shocked that a criminal that resisted arrest dies of a fentanyl overdose. Shocking.
talking through their own death. It was very, very upsetting, emotionally upsetting.
Shocked.
And I'm afraid, I'm sure this is the same for other people. I couldn't take my mind off the face of the officer. And the sort of nonchalance, if you like, of what was happening. It was really...
By the way, Henry Nowak was 1,000 times worse than George Floyd.
Yeah,
It's not even close.
Really chilling. And I think that's why it sparked such a reaction across the world. I was genuinely shocked. And the image, I think, will stick with me. And I'm sure it'll stick with many, many people. That combination of a man talking about his last breath in that way and an officer apparently unmoved.
Man, you just really had to one-for-one it, didn't you? That's so ironic. Wow. Almost half of British students back the return of the death penalty. The death penalty was abolished in Britain in 1969, but growing numbers of youngsters are now calling for its reintroduction. I'm glad to see this. I'm very happy to see young people that are becoming extremely based. This is amazing. I'm very...
Look, I've been saying this literally forever. Hello, our civilization is based on biblical values, and the Bible calls for the death penalty for, like, murderers and stuff. Like, the fact that we don't have the death penalty as often as we should is actually heresy. That's right. I'm going to say it. We think we're more moral than God. Nah, dude. God says they should die, and I agree with him. Now, if you go to Keir Starmer's Twitter account and you type in shocked, all right, I am shocked at the scenes of the White House Correspondents' Dinner with the assassination attempt. I'm deeply shocked by the shooting in Houston, and I would like to thank the emergency services. When I read this, I was shocked to my core. I'm sure you were. You know, I'm deeply shocked and saddened to hear about the sudden passing of this guy, and agreed the local community is shocked by this thing going down, and Shireen Abu Akleh has shocked the world. Yeah, I'm sure she did. I'm shocked and appalled that a soldier was attacked in Kent, and he's shocked and saddened of the tragic death, and he's shocked at the horrific and senseless killing of 6 hostages in Gaza, and he's shocked by the tragic scenes in Washington, D.C. Bro, we have to, like, what the fuck is happening, dude? Bro's more shocked than Hassan Piker's dog. This shit is crazy. Now, Elon Musk shared this video. Elon has been super on top of this, and it's really good to see. I think that Elon Musk is truly a force for good in this world. I'm not going to agree with all of his life choices and life decisions or, you know, little emotional crash outs from time to time. I think he is absolutely a positive force in the world. All right, so he shared this video. So let's see what it's all about.
Henry Nowak, how anti-racism gave you racism.
All right, let's go. Lock in.
Cast your mind back exactly 6 years. It's the summer of 2020 and Britain is undergoing what its commentator breathlessly describes as a reckoning. The murder of George Floyd by a Minneapolis police officer sent hundreds of thousands of British people into the streets. Statues were toppled. Corporations issued groveling statements. Police officers British police officers in British cities policing British people took a knee before the protesters.
Bro, what
the
the
message,
fuck is this?
repeated endlessly by politicians,
It's almost like it's literally just for the purpose of dominance and it doesn't actually have any moral backing behind it or something. That's crazy. Wow, I can't believe it.
journalists and institutions of every kind was unambiguous. Racism kills, and we will do whatever it takes to make sure it never happens again.
That's right. It's all part of the gigantic strategy. He's so fucking right.
Sorry, we just got attacked racially by some white person.
What did he say? Was he racially abusive?
The police need a report. Come here. Yeah, he was. Do you want to speak to my brother? He's then laid a punch onto me. He pushed me back and my turban come off.
6 years later,
his
an
turban
18-year-old
came
student named Henry Novak was stabbed 5 times on a Southampton street. As he lay bleeding, he told the police officers who arrived at the scene exactly what had happened. He had been stabbed by Vikram Digwa, who was standing nearby. Digwa, for his part, told the officers something else, that he had been the victim of a racist attack. The officers believed Digwa and handcuffed Novak. As he lost consciousness, he could be heard on body cam footage repeating the words, "I can't breathe." The same 4 words that 6 years earlier had become the defining phrase of a political movement. They were stenciled on murals, chanted at marches, printed on t-shirts. They were spoken on the floor of the United States Congress and quoted in parliamentary debates in Westminster. When British police officers knelt in the streets of London, it was those words they were kneeling for. Henry Novak's last words, captured on body cam footage released by Hampshire police in the...
Bro, these people are so fucking cucked, it's crazy. It's wild. Just understand how far our movement actually came since George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose while he was resisting arrest because he's a criminal piece of shit. All right, think about how far we've come as a culture. All right, I don't know a single young man that actually has that same frame of mind that your average guy did back then.
Small hours of a Tuesday morning, the middle of the night when the fewest people would see it, were the same. "I can't breathe." He said them while handcuffed on the pavement, bleeding from 5 stab wounds, to officers who had decided that the man who put those wounds in him was the real victim. You will not see Henry's words stenciled on a mural. No politicians will quote them in the comments. No corporation will change its logo. The same establishment that made 4 words immortal when spoken by a black man in Minneapolis has met the same 4 words spoken by a white boy dying on a street in Southampton with what can only be described as a determined institutional silence. That silence is not neutral. It is a statement. It tells you exactly whose suffering the system has decided counts.
Oh,
and
yeah.
who does not. And it was
He's
produced
right.
not by the old racism, not by skinheads and yobs, but by the people who spent 6 years telling you they had abolished it. Digwa was convicted of murder last week and sentenced to life imprisonment. Hampshire police issued a public apology. The IOPC launched an investigation. And a country that had spent the better part of a decade being lectured about the unique and unforgivable evil of racism was left to contemplate what its anti-racism had actually produced. The answer, if you're willing to look at it honestly,
is
this:
racism.
a new form of racism,
Yeah, just
a
against white
bureaucratic
people.
racism, an actually institutionalized racism, a racism so thoroughly laundered through the language of progress and inclusion that the people enforcing it genuinely believe they're on the right side of history. What else do you call a system in which a dying teenager's word counts for less than his killer's because of the color of his skin? To understand how we got here, you have to understand what the post-Floyd reckoning actually did to British institutions, especially the police. The response to Floyd's death
Right, here we
wasn't
go.
merely
Look, I know what happened in the USA, all right, but I don't know how George Floyd affected England that much.
emotional. It was ideological, and it was systematic. Forces across the country underwent mandatory diversity and
What the
anti-racism
fuck?
training. The principle drilled into officers explicitly or implicitly was that
I love how anti-racism is just white people are bad and should die. Like, I love how they don't say it out loud, but that's basically the policy here.
accusations of racism must be taken with the utmost seriousness, that the historic failure of institutions to believe minority victims of racism was the original sin, and it needed atoning for. Racism is bad.
Nah, dude.
Attempting to address it is good.
This is
the problem
crazy.
is what happened.
He's right, and it's complete insanity that we need to live in a world where we make believe that all people are the same and all cultures are equal and none of them are different and we need to sacrifice our nation for the barbarians that we're bringing into our countries. Like, this shit is complete insanity.
Happens when you apply it without judgment in the real world. You train officers to weight an allegation of racism so heavily that it overrides the evidence in front of their eyes. You produce exactly the outcome we saw in Southampton. A man bleeding to death on the pavement, begging for help, being told by officers who should be saving his life that they don't think he's been stabbed. What is particularly striking about this case is the way it mirrors almost exactly the injustice that movement was supposedly designed to prevent. George Floyd died saying, "I can't breathe," while a police officer knelt on his neck. Henry Novak died saying, "I can't breathe," while police officers knelt on his back and handcuffed him. The British establishment that wept for Floyd has been conspicuously quiet about Novak. The politicians who marched through London streets in 2020 have not rushed to the cameras. The corporations that changed their logos and funded diversity initiatives have not issued statements. This is not an accident or even a surprise. It's the logical consequence of an ideology that does not actually oppose racism. It simply reassigns its acceptable targets.
That's
I want
right.
to be
He's
precise
totally
here because
right
precision
here.
matters. I'm not saying that the officers who attended the scene that night are bad people or that they set out to let Henry die. I believe, in fact, the opposite, that they were following the spirit of their training and of the culture that had been built around them, in good faith, over many years. The problem is not the individuals. The problem is the system that produced them. A system that taught them, in effect, that an allegation of racism is a trump card that overrides normal investigative procedure.
He's totally right about this. He's totally right. Absolutely. It's just a complete moral reshuffling. Now, I've said this to people before, and people have disagreed with me. I think that the root of almost all of these evils is the absolute rejection of God that we see across Western civilization. Because if your morals are actually set in stone, because God said so, right? If murder is bad because God said it's bad, then you can't justify it if you're murdering Charlie Kirk, who you don't like. All right? Ultimately, it is inherently evil. But because they reject some sort of actual objective moral order, they're able to reshuffle their morals however they see fit. It's all part of the grand plan to basically reprogram people into automatons for the state. Like, if you think about this a little more seriously, how could you possibly think that racism, you know, a thing that saves lives, let's be real, if Irina Zarutska would have picked a different seat in that bus, she would be alive today, maybe. By making that the original sin, you are literally rewriting people's minds and entire moral frameworks. Our civilization was based off of biblical values. It's a Christian civilization. It absolutely is. And with all these woke things and importing different cultures into our country that does not come from the same cultural background that we do, creating all these different movements, these ideologues, these retards, these foreigners, these communists, these people that want to rewrite the actual moral order that we have, then you're going to have people that actually think thou shalt not murder is not really a bad thing. Hey, let's celebrate when Charlie Kirk dies because, well, we didn't like him very much. Maybe they don't believe in thou shalt not steal either. I don't know. These people are all looting the streets. You have Hassan Piker going on podcast talking about how micro-looting is actually based. All right, maybe they don't believe in thou shalt not bear false witness either when the Me Too movement starts and all of a sudden everyone's a rapist. And it doesn't matter if it's true or not. You just have to believe all women. If you don't actually have any form of moral foundation, then your opinions are just whatever your opinions were told to be. All right, whatever the power, the force, the people that actually, for whatever reason, are viewed as the moral barometers, whatever they tell you, well, that's just where we're at. Well, why should you disagree with them? What moral backing do you have behind your claim to disagree with the moral order imposed upon you by malevolent retards? The answer is you don't. So when your moral order is rewritten by heretics, all of a sudden everything changes. So yes, I do believe that these people think racism is the ultimate sin because they were told that, and they have no reason to disagree with that take. Now, I've said this to people before, and people disagree with me, and they're wrong. Anyway, moving on.
Normal medical common sense and normal human judgment. That system was built with the best of intentions by people who genuinely wanted to address real injustices. And it has produced a policing culture in which a killer can stab a teenager 5 times, claim to be the victim of racism, and watch their officers handcuff the person bleeding out on the street. They will not acknowledge what they've built. They will say that this was an isolated failure of individual officers, not a systemic problem.
No one's buying it.
They will say that raising this case is itself a form of racism, an attempt to undermine legitimate anti-racism efforts by...
This is the natural conclusion of the culture they've built. I'm not gonna lie. This is the natural conclusion. A generation of white girls getting raped to death by Pakistani grooming gangs is the natural conclusion to the pro-migration, all cultures are equal anti-racism movement that they have created. And I don't think that it's hard to say or see exactly how we got here.
Dwelling on edge cases. They will say, as they always say, that the real problem is that we haven't gone far enough. But that game is up. Anyone with the eyes to see and the ears to hear the truth knows what happened here. A young man is dead. His killer exploited an ideology to escape justice, if only briefly. And the institutions that were reformed in the name of anti-racism are now openly racist against white people. If you appreciate these videos...
Yeah, and no one's falling for this either. And I'm really glad we have people like Elon Musk actually speaking out about it. I'm sure he doesn't agree with my take in regards to the whole objective morality stuff, but ultimately the conclusion's the same. Because it turns out the rational endpoint that any intelligent person actually would come to is actually biblical values are just better. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Isn't it hilarious that we have this book, the Bible, written like 3,000 years ago, and it still gives you literally the best policy for society and lifestyle that basically any genius fucking modern day retard can give you? Death penalty for murderers is actually based. Strong punishment for thieves and shit is actually awesome. You know, get married and have children is actually a fantastic message. It's almost like it was divinely inspired or something, am I right? Now, talking about corrupt police officers is one of my favorite things, actually, because we got to expunge this stuff. Basically, the only thing I actually care about the government, like, I only care about the government in regards to how well they can properly do law and order. I don't actually want them to do anything else. So it turns out there is an entire corrupt police force in Utah right now. People are calling it the Mormon Lego conspiracy, and we got to talk about it. So apparently, the CEO of Patreon, all right, got a message from Bricks and Minifigs, that's like a Lego toy company, that sent them a takedown request because they're hosting videos of a guy that's exposing the Lego company that's getting protected by the police force, and he had something to say. This is the CEO of Patreon responding to the threat.
Dear creator community, my name is Jack Conti, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Patreon. On May 29th, Patreon received an official takedown request filed by Bricks and Minifigs for media and accounts related to Reckless Ben and an ongoing dispute regarding a local Lego consignment issue. This is the verified complaint with exhibits.
Oh boy.
This is the request
They're
for
suing
immediate
Patreon.
content removal pursuant to temporary restraining order. And this is the motion for the temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction. So after an extensive review and investigation by Patreon's trust and safety team, we have in fact unfortunately determined that Bricks and Minifigs can stuff it.
Based!
We're keeping Ben's page up.
Based!
And if Bricks and Minifigs doesn't like that, they can sue us.
God, that is so based. Rare CEO W, let's freaking go, man. So the giant toy company that's accused of stealing $200,000 from an old guy is suing Patreon to get Patreon to force the hand of the YouTuber investigating them to stop investigating them. And he basically said, stuff it. If you don't like it, you could sue us. This is hilarious because basically Bricks and Minifigs, the company in question, every time someone had a complaint about the company, they said, oh, if you have a complaint, why don't you just sue us? All right. So bro's basically responding the same way. If you don't like it, why don't you just sue us? Unfathomably massive Patreon W. All right. Now, can we please unban Tyler Oliveira's Patreon? Because that guy was taken down, in my opinion, very falsely. And we gotta get that guy's Patreon back too. I guess the Mormon control over Patreon is a lot weaker than the Jew control over Patreon. I guess that's in the warring factions of modern day life. I guess that's where we stand on the power scaling. But no, seriously, if you're actually watching this, can we please get Mr. Tyler Oliveira's Patreon unbanned? We see you have the stones when you need them. But anyway, so apparently the police force released an entire response to Reckless Ben. So this guy, Reckless Ben, the guy that exposed them and exposed the police for basically working in what they're calling a gigantic Mormon conspiracy, where it turns out all the CEOs of the actual Bricks and Minifigs store, they are all Mormons. Massive donors to the Mormon community and the Mormon church of the area, and all the police in this police force are also Mormons. So a lot of people are really suspicious over the fact that it really seems like non-Mormons in Utah are treated less fairly than like Arabs in Israel. Like what are we doing here? To the point that they actually arrested this guy, they put him in jail, all right, and they put a warrant out for his arrest to the point that he had to flee the country to Mexico. So the police force got a lot of criticism, so they actually responded, and here's what they had to say.
The American Fork Police Department has responded to the video I made about
oh shit, this is gonna be hairy.
them.
I am the Chief of Police for the American Fork Police Department.
All right, let's go.
I'd like to address the members of our American Fork and Cedar Hills community regarding some videos currently.
Yeah, just to be clear, I'm not here shitting on every Mormon, all right? I just want that to be clear. My experiences personally with Mormons have only been very positive, but I am just saying there obviously is some sort of kinship here between people, and they're specifically taking it out on other people that aren't part of their kinship community. And honestly, to any Mormons watching this, these guys are doing a really shitty job at making your religion look kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Circulating on social media.
So now I will offer a response to their response. There's a lot of new information in this response that I've been wanting to get for a long time, so we'll go over that first. One of the main questions in my video
all right, here we go.
Why did I get swatted for stealing the Legos when this wasn't a mystery to the police officers and they knew that I didn't steal the Legos, that Josh stole the Legos.
He basically stole a $200,000 collection of Star Wars Legos.
Yeah, this is like the biggest story in America right now for some reason. It's just crazy to show how tribalistic different communities are when they're dominated. And it's like, yeah, actually no, we shouldn't import infinite Somalis because like this is what like the Mormon people, the nicest people ever. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not Mormon. It's just like, and this is what's going on here. Like, you gotta wonder what the fuck is happening in fucking Somalia too.
But still, why did they raid my house for stealing the Legos when there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that Josh stole the Legos? When I requested the body cam footage of this to try to find the answers myself, they redacted everything.
Apparently the unredacted ones got leaked. We'll look at that later.
And they claimed it was to protect the victims. However, one of my friends set up a GoPro as we were getting swatted, and we caught the entire conversation on camera.
No!
Included in the warrant are like
He had the conversation on camera and he didn't release it because he was waiting for them to respond and prove that they're liars. This guy's actually the GOAT. Holy shit, dude. Brother. Citizen journalist saving America.
For 3 months, the police department's answer has been, this redaction is important because it protects Josh, the victim of this case. However, we can clearly see that the police are looking for Legos and they saw no Legos. And they redacted this because they were embarrassed that they made such a stupid decision to swat the wrong person. They were so embarrassed of swatting my house for stealing the Legos that in all the police reports, it is completely redacted. The police department wants this information hidden so bad that they're willing to break the law to hide this from everyone. The only reason I know about it is because of the receipt I got the night I was released from jail.
Oh, shit.
And my friend's GoPro that was recording. So even though I've been asking them for 3 months why I got swatted, they finally came up with an answer, which is...
That's a pretty big deal, right? Like, bro got swatted because they claimed he stole $200,000 of Legos with zero evidence. They put him and his entire friend group in jail. I covered this last time, right? But we're doing a deep dive. We're covering all the things in America in the least homosexual way possible.
Airbnb host told them that I stole the Legos.
During contact with the Airbnb owner, the owner reported...
The owner of the Airbnb? What the fuck does that have to... How do they know anything? Dude, this guy just has to be part of the conspiracy. Like, there's no way.
...overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos.
That someone else stole their Legos. Bro, I can't believe we're talking about Legos and he accidentally, like, exposed this corrupt Mormon mafia ring. What are we doing?
Specifically, officers wrote in the search warrant affidavit, the homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possibly stolen Lego toys they had taken. Based on that information...
Bullshit. I don't believe that for a second.
Officers added a request within the search warrant affidavit seeking authorization to also search for and seize possible stolen property, including Lego merchandise.
First of all, listen, I've been to Airbnbs before. The owner's never around, okay? And even if the owner is around, they didn't overhear multiple voices talking about how they stole someone else's Legos. They were rubbing their fucking hands together. All right, we stole their Legos. We got them. Yeah, high five. We stole their Legos. Woo! Yeah, no one does that. All right, come on. So he calls the police and tells the police, I hear people talking about stolen Legos in my Airbnb, and that's enough of a warrant for the police to storm their shit down and lock them up? No one is buying this. Like, this is obviously fabricated.
4th District Judge Roger W. Griffin reviewed and approved the search warrant.
I always like giving people the benefit of the doubt, and I will take the police officer's word on this, but something fishy is going on here, and everything can just be cleared up if you unredact the audio and let everyone see the truth. Also, after we got raided and the police officers found no Legos, all of this footage has been redacted too. And my guess is if the police unredact this footage, we will find out the answers once and for all. While we were getting swatted, one of the police officers decided to injure me for absolutely no reason. He claims it's because I was trying to make a fast movement.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that.
Yeah, I saw them in the last one. I can't believe it. Like, he felt like this entire police department needs to get abolished.
Don't move quick. Everybody just chill.
When we replay the footage, you can clearly see I was not making any fast movements. However, the police department has an answer to this.
During Snyder's detention, Lieutenant Adamson took hold of Snyder's right arm. Lieutenant Adamson later reported that he felt Snyder tense his arm, at which point Adamson moved Snyder's right arm.
Bro, he grabbed his arm and bent his arm back the moment he grabbed his arm. He didn't feel fucking tensing or anything, okay? Like, bro doesn't have observation hockey, all right? Bro didn't do any... Are you serious? Little did you know, the Mormon Police Department has activated the 3 Tomoe Sharingan, and they can sense muscle tensing. Bro, no one's... What, are you serious?
Behind his back to place him into custody.
The police department has made it clear I did not, in fact, make any quick movements like the police officer claims I did. So the police officer
so that was a lie.
But not fully, because I did tense my arm. However, he lunges at me extremely fast before he even
Exactly. He grabs his hand and immediately puts it behind his back. But what the fuck? What are we even talking about here?
Tensing my arm before he even grabs me. That doesn't make any sense.
Bro, you might have, if you ever watched Avatar, The Last Airbender, you know there's airbending, earthbending. Well, we have found the great arm bender, ladies and gentlemen. He's the fucking GOAT. He was able to sense it from a mile away.
There's only one solution.
That's right. Have you discounted arm bending?
This police officer has psychic powers.
Okay, you know, honestly, that's another. I didn't consider that.
And he could tell that my arm was tensing up before grabbing me.
I didn't
However,
consider that.
this makes no sense because if the police officer did truly have psychic powers, he would have known that we were not the thieves. Josh and Brandon were the thieves.
All right, well, you got to cross that shit. I guess we're back to arm bending. I guess we're back to my previous thought process.
So this can't be the case either. I'm trying to have an open mind with these different possibilities of what this could be, but literally the only outcome left is that this police officer injured me for no reason.
That's right.
However, the police have another response to this of why I must be lying.
Oh.
In the X-ray image displayed by Mr. Snyder in that video, a small L is visible.
Oh my fucking god. He showed a stock image of what a dislocated shoulder looks like. That wasn't his shoulder. Well, are you serious? He had to fucking flee the country right after he was out of jail. Because you put a warrant out for his arrest. What are we talking about?
In the upper right-hand corner of the X-ray. The L indicates the image is that of the left shoulder.
It was a stock image! Dude, there's no... This is the fucking police department? We're paying tax dollars for this shit?
The video shows Lieutenant Adamson handling Schneider's right arm during the arrest.
Yes, the stock footage I used to show what a dislocated shoulder is, an image that's clearly not mine because I didn't go to the hospital, I went to jail. So how could I have taken this picture? But anyways, the stock image I used is of a left shoulder when my shoulder that got injured was my right shoulder. When I was editing this, I like to think highly of my audience that they would have known that this was a stock image and I wouldn't have to spoon feed every tiny detail to my audience. But now I realize that there's another portion of my audience called the American Fork Police Department that maybe I do have to spoon feed every single piece of information to. So I'm going to use this as constructive.
Can I just say, this man's video took off so much because obviously his video is good. And obviously all the commentators talking about it, the Moist Criticals, the Asmongold's of the world, all right, the little blue cartoon retards out there making people know about this. It's important. We are all contributing. The fact that the police actually had to issue a response is fucking huge.
Criticism, and in every single episode going forward now that I know that the American Fork Police Department's watching, I will be forced to spoon feed every single detail. As a professional slackliner, dislocating my shoulder is almost a monthly thing for me.
Oh.
The whole weight of my arm is just on this bone.
Boon.
3 days before I got arrested, I had a really bad ski accident where I had a really bad dislocation of my shoulder, and any movement at all would have dislocated it. So I will say here, I don't think that the police officer was purposely trying to injure me. I think to a normal person, this would have been fine. But for me in particular, this was not good, but it was still unjustified. And the police officer was just making up an excuse, and now they're making up an excuse to defend it. Another thing I find shocking is the chief of police, even after reviewing the dash cam footage, says that we ran a stop sign.
Richardson initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle for failing to stop before the stop line at a stop sign and failing to stop
This was already debunked. Like, this was already proven not true.
At that stop sign.
The chief of police looked at this video and said, we ran a stop sign. And now he's using that to say, this was illegal.
And it's also obviously not true because they stopped the car and they said, which one of you is Ben? Meaning they were going after Ben. Duh.
Traffic stop. The police officers did nothing wrong. At this point, we thought the best thing to do was to take Josh to court so he can be legally accountable for the crimes he committed. However, to do that, we are first required to serve him court papers. So we did what the law told us to do. I got a process server, and we went to his house to do this the legal way. However, Josh did not want to do this the legal way, and instead called the police on us.
Joshua Johnson contacted police and reported he was going to shoot someone as a result of the ongoing harassment.
He called the police, said, I'm going to shoot someone because a guy wanted to serve me court papers? Are you serious? Wait, and you didn't think that that guy was a little unhinged?
Multiple officers immediately responded to the area.
Josh was so scared of going to court that he would rather shoot us than accept these court papers.
Holy shit, dude! What the fuck? That's crazy! Oh my god.
Josh's logic here is that if he can murder the process server and if he can murder me, then he can get away with his crimes because there'll be no one to sue him in court. However, sadly for Josh, murder is illegal.
Damn.
And now he just admitted his plans to the...
That's rough, buddy. Again, the guy that does... The guy that literally doesn't believe in thou shalt not bear false witness and thou shalt not steal, doesn't believe in thou shalt not murder. Color me shocked.
Police officers. The American Fork Police should at least be arresting Josh for trying to use murder as a way to get out of court. But sadly, for some reason, they arrested me instead.
Am I being arrested? Really?
Something about this seems off. And all of the answers...
It almost seems like there's a tribalistic loyalty between these people or something.
Are in the body cam.
And look, it's not just Mormons that do this, all right? It's the Jewish based and controlled government, and like New Jersey, you got the Islamic-controlled government in fucking Dearborn, Michigan, and in Islamabad, too, otherwise known as fucking Minnesota. All right, you got all this shit, and there's so much tribalism everywhere. And that is why importing infinite ethnicities from separate countries with different cultures than ours is just a fucking retarded idea. You know, at least ultimately speaking, Jews and Christians and Mormons have very similar biblical doctrine, and you're already seeing this preferential shit. Imagine if you're going to bring in infinite fucking retards from the third world that believe in I don't know, chopping the clitorises off 99% of women like they do in fucking Somalia. I don't think those guys are going to contribute, nor do I think they're going to assimilate into our culture. You know, like, you see the obvious tribalism in fucking Utah, for crying out loud.
Footage. However, they redacted all the body cam footage. So this is where I think if we all come together as a community, we can somehow convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this footage so we can find out why they arrested me and not the guy who threatened to murder me.
Yeah.
However, the American Fork Police does not want to unredact the footage right now, and now have made up a new excuse of why I was the one justified being arrested.
Officer Sumbot contacted the Marion County Circuit Court in Oregon to verify the legitimacy of the paperwork. The court confirmed that the case was indeed legitimate, but that papers had already been served and no hearing date had yet been scheduled.
The police department said the reason they arrested me and not Josh this day is because they called to confirm if this was a real court case, and they said it was real. However, the papers have already been served, and now I'm doing this solely to get YouTube content. And if that's true, I would like to see footage of it. They released all the raw footage, and that part doesn't seem to be in the raw footage.
It's already been to court, or are you allowed to tell me kind of where they're at with the case?
There is no hearing date set, and there hasn't been a hearing in the case yet. All I see is the claim that was filed. I don't see proof of service or anything. A hearing wouldn't be set until a response is filed by the defendant.
Okay, so the defendant needs to be served with papers before the case will...
So they admit in the body cam that he wasn't served, but now they're claiming the response that he was already served?
I guess start. Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you for your help. That's all for today. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, bye.
Right here, the police officer admits that it is March 10th.
On March 10th, 2026.
However, you can see here that Josh doesn't get served until 3 days later,
Oh,
March 13th.
shit.
So how could...
He just lied. Dude, people, they need to be held accountable for this shit. Like, this entire police force needs to be shredded.
Josh have already been served on March 10th if he didn't get served until March 13th, unless Josh is a time traveler. There's only...
Or a liar. I mean, I guess.
One way to clear this all up. American Fork Police Department, show me the time machine. So now they say that I have done all the check marks which constitute stalking. Let's go through them.
Individual commits stalking if the individual intentionally or knowingly engages in a course of conduct directed at a specific individual.
So yes, I did do an action that was targeted at a specific individual, but that's what's required by the court if I want to take someone to court. If someone steals your stuff and you go through the legal process to take them to court, it is not considered stalking. I have a right as an American to sue him.
Is reckless as to whether that course of conduct would cause a reasonable person to fear for the individual's own safety or the safety of another.
No. The second check mark is that if a reasonable person would be scared. The police are claiming that since this action made Josh scared, this check mark is complete. However, they've completely forgotten about the term reasonable. And as we can see, Josh is not a reasonable person. This is someone who multiple times has tried to silence someone by accusing them of being on heroin.
Here's the crazy thing. They told me that they took over that location because the owners were using the location to fund their heroin addiction.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's how they took it over, and saying they had like a pigeon in there that was crapping all over the Legos, and it smelled bad, all this stuff.
This is someone who threatened to murder me just for trying to serve him papers. This is not a reasonable person. It is not reasonable to threaten to murder someone just for serving papers. A reasonable person would accept the papers, so that second checkbox does not meet the requirements. I even tried explaining this to one of the police officers early on.
What the law says is if the average person would feel unsafe by our behaviors, so I think he's feeling unreasonably unsafe, a reasonable person would not feel unsafe in the situation. Well, I can say the same thing. I feel unsafe trying to conduct business with him, and he calls the police on me to hide. I feel unsafe because of that. Because we had a 3-hour search in our car. He said we had heroin in our car yesterday. We had a 3-hour search in our car. That makes me feel unsafe. I think that's reasonable for me to feel unsafe. It's not reasonable for him to feel unsafe.
So Josh is actually the one who said he was going to murder me.
This saga is actually, it's like, I'm at the edge of my seat. This entire saga is insane.
If I take him to court.
Citizen journalists are saving America. All the rot is getting exposed by the brave civilians of our great nation.
But now, I'm the one that's being looked into for threatening to murder Josh. How does this make any sense?
Mr. Johnson alleged that Mansell had hired Benjamin Snyder to harass, stalk, vandalize the store, threaten to murder, the manager of the store.
Now, let's go to the heroin claim. We got pulled over by the police, and they claimed that we had heroin on us. Most of this footage is redacted, so again, there's a big mystery of what happened. Can we all come together and convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this so we can find out the truth? However, what the police is claiming now is that they did not get a call saying that we had heroin on us. Instead, they could just tell from the second we pulled over that our eyes were glossy.
During the interaction, Officer Broughton indicated he believed Shaw's eyes appeared glossy and expressed concern regarding possible impairment.
If we look back on the raw footage, this is what the police officer said his first interaction with us was like.
Good with these guys being able to drive?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't see anything clear as day.
Oh! The absolute massacre. These people are getting massacred on the timeline.
Tyler, that I noticed.
So no, it had nothing to do with the fact that you noticed that his eyes were glossy. You liars.
Right now?
Dude, and these guys, this is law enforcement. All right, these guys are enforcing the law. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was gonna scare him a little bit and let him go is all I really was gonna do.
We have charges, or are we just tired of them being annoying?
It seems hard to take what the chief of police is saying seriously because so far almost everything he said is a lie. So the only way we can actually find out the truth is if we unredact everything. We already know the victim's name is Joshua Johnson. Why do we have to keep that protected? His name is already out there. None of these redactions are protecting anything except for the police. And now I want to acknowledge my friend Sheldon's arrest.
The group stated they were supporting a GoFundMe campaign for a dying man. One of the individuals later identified as Sheldon Norcross. Officer Richardson then decided to seize Norcross's phone, pending the approval of a search warrant, in order to preserve potential evidence and prevent the deletion or alteration of any data. According to Officer Richardson's reports, when Norcross was informed that the phone was going to be seized, Norcross immediately began manipulating the device.
Bro, he tried to hit the power button to turn off the to turn it to lock screen. Are you serious? They're still trying to run with this story? Who's buying this? Bro, you know, the American Fork Police Department, whatever, they're going to get 200 views on their video, all right? And the reaction to this is going to get millions of views between everyone commentating on it. But you have no one on your side here.
This officer claims that Sheldon was arrested because he opened his phone to start deleting evidence. However, we can clearly see in the footage, Sheldon's thumb is heading towards that lock button to lock his phone. His phone was open when he pulled it out, and the phone was transitioning from on to off, not from off to on. From this response, it almost seems like the police officers didn't even watch the video. So American Fork Police Department, if I'm your teacher, here's your homework. First off, learn the facts of what actually happened. Second off, stop lying about the facts. No one's believing it. True. The third thing is unredact the audio that makes the police look bad. Some of the best lawyers in the United States are reaching out to me right now, so eventually this is going to get released. Wouldn't you just like to get this over with sooner rather than dragging this out? The more we drag this out, the more content we get, so this only benefits me to drag this out. It doesn't benefit you. If you unredact the illegally redacted parts now, you'll win over audience support much faster. It's kind of funny because a lot of you guys probably think I'm like trying to like make fun of this other cop by how he was talking.
Brother, you mind turning up the volume? Holy, it's actual ASMR. Wow. I cannot really hear him. Why is he whispering?
No, I'm actually just like super sick right now. I haven't been sleeping, so I'm trying to get out part 3 as fast as I can. And that's caused me just to like stay up all night, every night, and not sleep. And now I'm sick and have no voice. But yeah, I guess it kind of, I don't know why that police officer was talking with such a low, quiet voice, but that's why I am, at least. I wasn't making fun of him. I literally am just genuinely sick. But if you want to see part 3, subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/recklessben.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that Patreon isn't caving to these retards trying to shut him down. This was insane. Dude, all the corruption in the world, and they can't fucking stand up to like a couple of YouTubers with cameras. Dude, we are living in the best timeline. A lot of people are actually just mad at society. Rightfully so, but we are living in the best timeline. Don't blackpill, all right? We're taking our country back. So in an insane bombshell update, Bricks and Minifigs is parting ways with Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson. These are the two CEO type people that allegedly stole $200,000. They say due to a devastating social media campaign. Yeah, you don't say. They say that they've reached out to the family that owns the 200,000 Lego collection. They'll return it all. The law for compensation for any missing items. We will give it back Stop! So this is a complete and utter W. It didn't happen yet, all right? Once the money changes hands, I'll be a lot happier. But obviously, this just goes to show that you can actually just fucking win against these guys if you humiliate them enough, which is why public humiliation is actually a fantastic policy, all right? It's not breaking any laws. We have the freedom of speech and the freedom to humiliate retards that are going to abuse the system to destroy us, all right? It's just honestly incredible. You know, we've been asked for documentation for a long time. We asked Mr. Mansell and the others did not receive enough to give us a clear picture until recently, thanks to internal and external operations assistance to those who continue to stand with us. And we finally have enough to proceed with a resolution, says Ammon McNeef, CEO, Bricks and Minifigs. And now that we do, Brian, we continue to offer to sit down with you. We're prepared to discuss dropping the lawsuit against you. Let's go through the spreadsheets and the POS data together and ensure you were made whole monetarily. Ensure whatever Star Wars Lego was or remains in the Salem store, whatever, whether you can identify it as yours, you can have it. Just take it. Take it all, please. We will ensure you are compensated for anything and accounted for, including Mrs. Law. Gorman failed to compensate for without knowledge. We're ready. We're ready when you are. We'll give it all back, please. Stop, bro. Bro, for $200,000, these guys literally destroyed their entire company. And you know the funniest part? Not only is bro going to be made whole at the end, but Bricks and Minifigs, an evil corporation, is going to collapse. Because people aren't going to believe that you're actually sorry. You're sorry you were caught. You're not sorry it happened. Who knows how many more times you've done this before? Who knows how many more times you plan on still doing this in the future? The only reason why you got exposed is because a YouTuber decided to make a documentary on it that went viral and everyone started talking about it. You haven't grown. You haven't learned any lessons here. In fact, you tried to bury it under the rug for like 2 weeks ever since this scandal started. And only now, once you've been absolutely humiliated, are you doing something about it? I'm sorry. I'm grateful that you're doing what you're doing so far and making these people whole, but the public shaming will continue. The public shaming will continue, all right, until you actually earn our faith back. Look, I'm not a leftist, and therefore I do believe in repentance and forgiveness, but I haven't noticed any yet. They're not sorry. They're not sorry for what they did. They're sorry they got caught. Now, in my opinion, the actual nemesis here, and for me personally, the most interesting thing, listen, gigantic company screwing over people, this is literally what almost every gigantic company does. I know that's a bit of a black pill over there, but let's be real. That's what they all do. Come on. Let's be honest. That's what they all do. Now, what I didn't expect, and this is crazy, all the footage got unredacted from the police. And the reason why, in my opinion, it's because it was leaked by someone internally. That's the only way I see that this could have happened, because this wasn't done officially. I doubt the police department was hacked, but I do think someone internally feels bad about what's been going on and feels like these people are getting harassed, mistreated, getting their arms dislocated and stuff, all because they were trying to return $200,000 to a dying man who got robbed, and the entire police department went to defend the evil company instead of actually defend the victim. So I think someone actually leaked everything, and this is insane. I didn't see it yet, but I'm really excited.
Someone actually hacked into the American Fork Police Department.
No way, so it was actually hacked? It wasn't leaked internally, it was actually hacked?
Released all the footage, unredacted, of my interactions.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
With them. This is the original footage I got with the redactions in, and this is the new unredacted footage. I'm lining them up, and I'm going to keep only the redacted parts to see what they were actually saying.
Hey, Jim, I understand. This ends today. I know, we're talking.
Put the fucking jail. He's out there. Wait, so this is the CEO guy, or whatever, commanding the police officers to arrest someone because they're exposing him for being a thief. Damn, bro. Damn.
Sadly, they weren't able to get the first 2 days where I was accused of having heroin on me, but the final 2 days, we were able to see a lot, actually. The footage starts with me going to Josh's house so I can serve him his legal court papers. Josh knows that if he goes to court with me, he's going to lose. So instead, a much easier option is he calls the police on me to prevent me from serving him.
His name is Ben Schneider. He's stalking my house. Will you come to my house, please, and come get them? I'm not going to have stalkers.
Are they there right now?
I'm not going to have stalkers. I'm way too important for that.
Yeah, they're on the side of the house.
One of the dispatchers made a note here saying that you were going to shoot someone.
I'm done with this. Officer, can you please help me and my family and make this stop?
Yeah, absolutely.
She had a consignment deal with a guy named Brian Mansell. A year and a half, almost 2 years, she had this consignment deal with him and she never paid him.
So right away, Josh is lying to the police, which we can easily verify with all of the metadata timestamped pictures that show that the Lego sets were in the store when Josh took it over.
He's hired this YouTuber. His name is Ben Schneider. He's Reckless Ben. They sent people in saying they're going to murder our manager.
Huh? What? Oh my god! You can't do this! Oh, you mean to tell me that the guy that doesn't believe in thou shalt not steal doesn't believe in thou shalt not bear false witness? Many such cases.
I'm done.
What are you guys doing here?
So we are in a court case with them, and we have to serve them legal papers.
She is a process server, and she's trying to serve you papers.
She's not a process server.
Okay.
Get the papers.
Have
They're
you-
fake
have you
papers.
dealt-
They're fake. Go get the papers.
Okay. You're okay for bringing those over to you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They're fake.
Yep, I see those papers.
I love how he just like orders the cops around. It's like he owns them or something. Or something.
Yeah. So this is what you're trying to serve them with?
Yes. I wish we could just send them an email. I wish we could just send them a phone call, or the court could send it to them, but this is what we're required to do from the United States court. So we're just following the instructions of the government. He thinks if I just call the cops on me, he can get away with it, but we're showing him, like, we're not going to let him get away with this crime, so.
Okay. You okay if I give these papers to him?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's go.
Are you
Right, so in the original video, he just brought the papers back.
okay if she just gives you the papers so we can just get
Have
her?
you looked at the papers? I've talked to the Kaiser Police Department. There's nothing filed. So no,
That's a lie.
I'm not accepting service from him.
Okay.
Absolutely not. It's fake.
Okay.
It's not real.
That's completely fine. You have that right.
Yeah.
You just have the right to just not accept court. Isn't that a felony, actually? I'm pretty sure it's a felony to not serve people papers like that. Hold up. I need to look this up, dude. All right, so the good news is I'm Jewish enough to know the law. So get a load of this one. All right, I hope you're ready. This is crazy. Quote, if a person refuses to take the papers, the server or officer can drop them at their feet or post them onto their door, and they will still be considered legally served. All right? If police officers simply decide not to serve court papers, the act of failing to serve them is not generally a felony. It is considered a serious violation of police procedure, but the legal consequences depend heavily on how they handle the situation and whether they lie about it. Dude, this is crazy. So apparently, if they just fail to serve the papers, then it's considered administrative misconduct or job neglect. However, if they lie about it, that could be considered perjury, falsifying public records, or violation of civil rights. Oh my God. And according to the AI here, apparently failing or refusing to serve papers is not a crime, but they should be suspended, reprimanded, or fired. But if you lie about it, then yes, it is considered a crime, and they should be fired, arrested, and sentenced to prison. This is insane. Oh my God. No wonder why they redacted the body cam footage.
Literally, all this police officer has to do is be like, you are served. And then he doesn't even have to accept them. He can literally just drop them. But as long as you say you are served, that counts as a legal serving. So why doesn't this cop just do that? Like, this whole thing could be solved in literally 3 seconds. Like, here, I'll time it. You've been served. Yeah, like literally 1.5 seconds, and this could be solved. This could literally be solved in 1.5 seconds. And this police officer is just purposely choosing to make this way more complicated than it has to be.
Hold on.
Oh, he's back.
What do you want done today?
What do you want done? As he doesn't even make eye contact with the guy? Totally owned by this man. Bought and paid for. Oh my, look, I'm a body language expert, but what is happening?
I obviously talked to...
What do you want done? I can't believe, hold on, one more time.
Hold on. All right. What do you want done today? Besides, obviously, talk to...
As much as you humanly possibly can.
I can screen charges. I'm open to screening charges to our attorney.
Yeah. Instead of serving these court papers like the police officer promised me he would, this officer would rather screen all possible charges for me to see what random stuff they can make up about me.
I'm going to go talk with him, give him his paper back.
Dude, what is happening? Why is he asking for permission
Do you not want...
from this fucker over here? Like, what is even going on, dude? This dude's acting like the fucking Kingpin from Spider-Man, just sitting his bald ass down there commanding the police to do what he wants.
Can I just peek at it?
What was that?
Can I peek at it?
It kind of puts me in a little bit
All
of
right,
a
never
bind.
mind. It's fake. There's no lawsuit in it.
Can I peek at it? That puts me in a bad spot because that would be serving him. And no, never mind. It's fake. Just leave.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna give this back to him and trespasser.
Because here's the thing. Let's think about this logically. Do you think a process server would show up with a guy that's been harassing a YouTuber to serve papers in Utah?
Josh knows.
Yeah? Why not? That's the law.
That if he gets served these papers, it's going to be really bad for him. And at this point, it seems like he's willing to make up any story he can to get us arrested before he gets served these papers.
They sent a lady in, and the lady's like, "Oh, I'm going to murder you," to Amanda, the manager.
And now,
What are we even fucking talking about?
Josh has just committed a felony. Lying to the police officers about a false threat I made to get me arrested is super duper illegal.
He called the store a billion times, threatened the employees.
He does not want the
my
papers.
God.
So
Does not want the papers?
here's that back for you.
Okay. I'm not sure what this is. I've never seen something like that. To be honest with you.
It's a court paper.
Court papers.
Okay, yeah. Okay, raise your neck.
Okay, see ya.
Yeah, process server's really getting right with the YouTuber. I mean, how stupid does he think I am? fake service papers. Then the girl is like, she's like, oh no, I got to serve them these papers. Like they printed up a fake lawsuit, you know? And I'm like, oh yeah, do you think the process server would really be riding with the YouTube guy to deliver papers to a guy that he's been harassing? I'm like, do you think I'm stupid?
Yeah, you're going to jail. That's a felony. Literally lying about fake threats to your life to the cops. Dude, you're fucked. You're totally fucked. All because one fucking absolute patriot decided to release this unredacted footage. And the craziest part is that the police department decided to redact all this because they knew it would make him look bad. Totally bought and paid for. It's honestly insane how deep this corruption goes.
I don't know what to do, man.
So, did you call the police again?
I just don't know what to do, man. I'm done with these guys.
We're ready and willing to arrest these individuals for Utah statutes for cyberbullying and digital
Cyberbullying? You cannot make this shit up, dude.
stalking because they're using electronic means for communication and coordinating their stalking.
Oh, it's digital stalking, not stalking.
It's all of the above. But because they're continuing to use additional tactics and other things like that, thinking that they're being cute and whatnot, can't continue. So somebody has to be arrested to show that they can't continue to do this.
They're literally saying on camera, well, someone needs to go down just to prove a point. What about because they violate the law? That's not a reason to arrest them. No.
Just kind of want to know what you want done on this. As much as we humanly possibly can.
He's going to submit, have it screened for charges with our prosecutors, right, with our city prosecutors.
And then he got the cops to talk to the fucking CEO on speaker. Dude, what are we doing?
Very adamant that he wants to serve you with papers. Okay.
That's fake. That's illegal. You can't pretend to be a process server.
So
it's a real process server.
You can't. It's illegal.
Why not? In the state of Utah, to be a process server, all you have to do is be over the age of 18 years old. You got to be not affiliated with the case, and you can't be an attorney. And this girl meets all three. She is over 18 years old. I literally met her like 10 minutes before we showed up here, and she's not an attorney. So legally, in the state of Utah, this woman is a process server. And I already explained this to the police.
So anyone can be a process server. You have to be 18 years old, and you have to be not affiliated with the case. So she is not affiliated with the case. She's over 18 years old. That qualifies as a process server.
Okay. Well, maybe just have someone not affiliated with you.
That's her. Yeah, she's. We have no relationship. That's why she's here. Yeah, that's why she's here. We have no relationship, and that is who she is. The exact person that you're describing.
That's fake. It is a lie. She's impersonating a process server.
So for this girl to be impersonating a process server in the state of Utah, she must either be under 18, which the cops took her ID and verified she's not under 18.
Do you have an ID or anything like that on you?
She has to be related to this case, which Josh says he's never seen her before, so she can't be related to this case. Josh has verified that. And so the only option left is Josh must assume that she's an attorney. But if Josh has never heard of her before, how does he know she's an attorney? And spoiler, she's not an attorney, but so I don't know what Josh means when he says she's pretending to be a process server, because it seems like he's verified that she meets all the requirements to be a process server. So basically what Josh is saying is, even though she meets all these requirements, and I acknowledge she meets these requirements, she still doesn't meet these requirements. You're making no sense, Josh.
Yeah.
Impersonating.
It's almost like he's just throwing shit at the wall, and he's just coming up with whatever the fuck he wants. So to tell the cops, because the cops work for him, it seems like.
Officer of the court, that carries, it's pretty significant,
Yeah, you can't pretend to be a process server. Sorry. Yeah, you can't. That's got to be illegal.
That's got to be illegal. Let's come up with new laws. Let's do it.
Like I say, he's getting combining charges.
It's a Class A misdemeanor to impersonate a process server in the state of Utah.
So right now,
I want her arrested for impersonating a process server.
So
I demand she is who the fuck is this guy? Like, bro, the fact that they're just completely bending over backwards for him. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Right now,
I can't just go and pretend. I can't go print up fake documents and go try to process serve people.
It's real. What are we even doing?
That's illegal.
So these papers that you printed up are
fake. Yes, 1 billion, trillion, gazillion percent.
Again, this is Ammon. I'm
Hello, there's a really easy way to prove that they're real. I don't know why they just don't do that. Just verify it with the court.
The corporate office.
He's the CEO.
Oh, hi.
So what's happened is we had a former franchisee, Mr. Schneider, is just a YouTuber that got a hold of the story and then went to this guy and said, hey, if I can harass these guys, if I can do some stuff and get some money out of them, will you pay me some of that money? And that's what they're trying to do, is the individual who actually owes the money left the United States.
And now Eamon has just committed obstruction by lying to the police officers.
He created a fake contract, forged a manager's...
Wait a second, hold up. Is that the same CEO that wrote this whole apology lying to the YouTubers? That Eamon guy? Mr. Mansell? Who is this guy? Who wrote this? Who is this fucking CEO? Yes! Eamon McNeff! Oh my god! I can't believe it! The guy who wrote the quote-unquote apology video is committing obstruction of justice, lying to the police? No shot, dude! They're all in on it, man! Get out of here! Corrupt freaking company! I told you I didn't think they repented! Look, dude! Oh my god! It's so bad. It's
Threatened to kill her.
It's so bad.
I didn't sign no agreement. I'm not beholden to somebody else's stupid agreement. I like how he can just lie to you guys. Just straight face. Oh, you owe me $200,000.
I'll check with the court, see if it's a valid civil case that he's trying to push through, and we'll go about it that way, okay?
Thank you for holding. How can I help you?
Trying to speak with someone to verify if a case is, just verify if a case is real.
Yeah, looks like a real small claims case in our court.
Okay, thank you for your help. That's all for today. Thank you.
And after this phone call, I guess the police officers turned off the microphone on their body cam because I guess they really didn't want literally anyone to hear this. Even if someone gets a hold of the unredacted stuff, not even we now can get it to hear what these police officers are saying. But anyways, the police officer ends up going back to talk to Josh.
They're screening some charges, okay? But we're just kind of working through. It looks like this is a real case. It just hasn't gone to court, okay?
It's a real case. Who's it against?
Against you, him versus you.
Ben Schneider? What an idiot.
So,
oh, so you were just lying to the cops for the last 10 minutes?
He's just racking up the charges and we're working together.
So basically the consensus is we were all wrong here. However, let's just arrest Ben anyways.
Like, letting them go cannot be an option here, guys. Like, this.
Letting them go cannot be an option here, guys. Says who the fuck? Excuse me, why? They didn't do anything wrong. You just don't like the fact that they're exposing you, so you're trying to weaponize the police that you apparently own to put them in jail. This is obvious corruption. Dude, I cannot believe how deep this goes.
Got to be something for cyber stalking, bullying, like all of the different things. Like, there's got to be something to arrest them. And
you got to do a thing. We're trying to steal money from old people. Okay, listen. We're trying to steal money from old people. These people keep exposing us. There has to be something that we can do to put them away. All right, guys, let's all work together on this one.
Send a message that this is not appropriate. This is not okay.
I'm in agreement with you. Again, that's why we're...
I agree with you, says the allegedly unbiased police officer to one of the parties in this case. Dude, this is unbelievable amounts of, I mean, negligence is what I was going to say, but this is obviously not negligence, right? In my opinion, this is corruption. Oh my God.
Kind of working through this right now.
Hello. Step out for me. Okay. Am I being arrested? Really?
Oh my God. Dude, that looks so bad.
I love you. I love you. Oh, there we go. I love you.
Oh my God.
Okay, I love you. I love American Police Department.
I'm sure he'll give them a pretty big donation after this.
So now let's get to the search warrant, where the cops raid my house because they heard that I was the one that stole the Legos from Brian. So I might have found out an answer of why this cop was so rough with me and threw my arm back. Before we enter the property, the cop warns all the other police officers to make sure we are not filming.
Hey, they're probably going to be quick to film. They're probably going to be quick to pull their phones out, so just be aware of that.
However,
What do you mean be aware of that? Why can't they film in their own house?
Got raided, I instantly pressed the record button on my phone because I was terrified these police officers were going to do something and try and hide it from the public. But I guess the police officer sees that I'm filming, and once he sees I'm filming, I think he was like, as punishment for filming me, I'm going to bend your arm back upwards and injure you, is my guess of what happened, because afterwards he says this.
The main kid had his phone recording, so I shut it off. But...
Oh my God.
The other kid had a GoPro. How many did you get? You got Ben?
We got 5 right now.
Including Ben Schneider?
Yes.
Sweet.
And then he calls the fucking bald guy to tell him that who he got. Bro, this isn't just unprofessional. Like, this is unbelievable.
That's good.
Next, we got some unredacted footage of me using the bathroom.
W, let's go.
Another thing about this unredacted footage is we get to see the police's entire office building. We get to see their detective board of us. We get to see that they're actually a member of the Church of Scientology Sucks. Oh old school fans will know this, but basically I made a religion called Scientology Sucks, and it legally got approved by the IRS, and Scientology Sucks worships a gold plunger as their god. I even got it tattooed on my wrist right here. It's like a plunger cross on my wrist.
Wow.
I guess the American 4th Police Department is active members of the Church of Scientology Sucks because they literally put my god on their desk. That's exciting.
We have a felony stalking case right now. Felonies. Everyone's facing felonies.
That's pretty serious, yeah.
It's super serious. I know that you've been told all of the fundraiser this guy stole $200,000.
Yeah.
If that was the case, that guy would be in jail.
Yeah.
So
No,
we're going to use critical.
Anyways, we're gonna fast forward a bunch. So this is basically a spoiler for episode 3, but basically this Bricks and Minifigs company has nonstop been making fake bomb threats, fake fire threats, fake murder threats in my name that I'm going to murder them.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The problem is obviously these are all fake threats. I would never do something like that, but the police think that these are real threats. So now the police from Los Angeles, from Utah, they're all working together now to catch me.
That's why there's a warrant for his arrest, and that's why he had to flee the country to Mexico. Oh God, part 3 is gonna be insane, and we're on this ride to the end, bro.
Here's a phone call from just a few days ago of the Los Angeles police calling the Utah police of them scheming of a way to get me arrested for all these mystery threats that I've been making.
Paul, we got a complaint from a guy in Provo about this guy Schneider.
Okay.
And so it seems like I talked to the guys in Sandon police too, and then trying to get a hold of Provo police. So it seems like, yeah, Schneider's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Basically, so he called me and he's just like, this guy's crazy. He's like making threats against us, my employees, our business, et cetera, et cetera. It seems like this guy might live in LA, or his last known address is in LA. So I guess I'm just trying to track down like what you guys are doing, if anything. I know, like, at least I've been told that there's technically like a couple open cases. This guy's already being charged in Utah by 3 different places. Like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Any idea where he actually is?
No idea. I know we had asked to hold him until we had further, but I'm guessing they just let him bond out. So.
Okay.
The only problem
Pretty weird.
is I'm in a place the American police have no jurisdiction over, so they're never gonna catch me here. No American police in sight. Good luck finding me. You are never gonna find me, police officers.
Oh my God, this story keeps getting worse. Dude, citizen journalist saving America. I know I've said that before, but I'm saying it again. Bro, I don't think people understand the ramification of giving microphones and cameras to young males. I'm telling you, bro, we're reshaping this civilization. We're going back to the old traditional lifestyle, whether you like it or not. This infinite authoritarian government shit that y'all have been shoving down our throats, nah, that's over. We are taking our culture back brick by brick. Now, in YouTube land, there's a pretty massive controversy that I feel like I need to weigh in on because everyone's going to be too scared to actually say the truth. Many such cases, but we got to actually get involved. Oh my God, is this diabolical? Like, truly evil stuff is about to be witnessed. So, very popular YouTuber Mick Juggernuggets shares pregnancy termination after Down syndrome diagnosis. So, this one's gonna be a little bit dark, but we're gonna have to get there because someone needs to actually do proper commentary on the fact that he killed his baby. All right, so anyway, YouTuber Jesse Ridgway posted a theatrical video hoping to garner sympathy for losing, in quotes, his child after he and his wife decided to abort it after finding out the child had Down syndrome. Now, I'm not minimizing how hard it is to raise a child with Down syndrome. I personally just have this very, very nuanced moral position that actually if something makes your life a little bit more difficult, you don't murder the person. I know it's a very unpopular opinion these days, but we have to talk about this. So here's the craziest part to me. The fact that they did a video posting their reaction to the diagnosis of their baby that they, after this video decide to murder. Now, I believe we live in a culture that's been so brainwashed and mind raped by people convincing you that killing your babies is a good thing, that this was always an option on the table for these people. But this just goes to show you the true depths of depravity that we're actually dealing with. All right, so this is going to be hard to watch because I do feel bad that these people were in this position, but then they happen to do the most horrible thing you can imagine, which is killing your own baby.
Here we go. And
for the record, I'm pretty sure that they're like 5.5 months into the pregnancy too. That's what I heard.
To the result, I have to download the official report.
All right, reaction video, guys. Like and subscribe. They posted this on their YouTube channel, by the way.
Site result.
Yeah, let me see if I can actually find the post where they posted first. Yeah, here it is. The results of our test came back. Link to the YouTube video. Shocked reaction in the thumbnail. This is sick and twisted shit on every level. All right, anyway.
Assistant with trisomy 21. No.
What is it? Wait. Where are you seeing this? Oh.
No.
Let me see. I
can't
can't see it.
It says abnormal insight result. Blah, blah, blah. Showed 3 chromosome 21 signals consistent with trisomy 21 Down syndrome. Genetic counseling is recommended. Pattern consistent with trisomy 21.
Yeah. Not minimizing the pain. This is absolutely heartbreaking to receive an actual diagnosis like this from the hospital. Absolutely heartbreaking. This is what every parent fears when they go for these tests. Absolutely. And I'm not minimizing that at all. But then they decide to kill their baby. So it's like, oh, something bad happened. That's really sad. Anyway, let's murder our baby now because that seems like it'll complicate things. Unfortunately, this is a real thing that's happening in everyday society, even with babies that are completely healthy. All right. But they felt like they were able to garner sympathy with this one. They're like, oh, we're aborting the baby, but like, you guys are going to love us because we're the victims here. We're the victims here because we received bad news, so we killed our child. All right. Now, this is insanity, by the way. This is a complete moral failing of the entire Western world that people have fallen for this psyop. It's heartbreaking. But I think we need to talk about it. All right. Obviously, they were planning on keeping this baby, meaning not murdering it. They've got to bring the dog into the shot for some moral support.
Not the result we wanted to see, guys. I started to get kind of a not good feeling just when the results were sitting here. That's why I didn't want to open them. I started to feel really uncomfortable about it.
Why the fuck are you doing this with your community? Guy with 4 million subscribers. Hey, guys. Hey, squad fam. Thanks for watching the video. We're going to abort the baby. Yeah, we're going to kill our child. Definitely leave a like, because this is, like, really traumatic, guys. This is, like, some of the most dystopian shit I've ever seen.
Kind of in shock, like, truly. We talked before this, guys, about what would we do if we confronted this scenario. Because this was the more likely scenario. We talked about terminating the pregnancy. Obviously, things could change because this is traumatic, like very traumatic.
Very traumatic. Smash like, leave a like on the video.
You guys even watching this, this is traumatic.
Don't forget
for
to
the whole community.
hit subscribe.
I think now that we have a definitive result, we'll talk with these counselors and we're gonna have some hard conversations.
Typically, if the initial FISH result shows trisomy 21, the final full karyotype or microarray analysis also confirms it in more than 99% of cases.
It's just all very overwhelming and confusing to navigate.
Yo, we're so confused, guys. Definitely leave a comment on your opinion below.
Ashley is almost halfway through this thing. Not saying we forced it, but like the kid seemed healthy, and there's been stories of where the kid comes out and is like super functional, and so it's like, I don't know. There's just a lot to digest, and we're not really going to be doing that in this video. We just wanted to let you guys.
This video is just the raw reaction. It's like when you open a pack of Pokemon cards, you want to see if you get like the foil. That's like what we're doing here with like our child's life that we eventually decide to terminate.
In on what the results were. Where's your head at? Just sad.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Especially heartbreaking because for the rest of their lives, they are going to live with the regret that they killed their baby. You know, that's extra heartbreaking.
Just things have been pretty dark for a while for us, and we thought this was going to be a nice little ray of sunshine, and it's not. Sorry to be crying, dude. It's a lot.
Oh, man.
For the record, they posted this video themselves.
I bought boy clothes because I was so sure that it was negative. I had the nursery picked out. I was ready. I was ready.
Hello, you're still having a baby. You don't have to kill your baby, actually. You know, it's obviously brutal to raise a Down syndrome kid. It's tragic, but they're incredibly happy people for the most part. Like, incredibly happy people that are alive, living human beings. It's shocking to me that it's like she wants a kid, obviously. They were trying to have a kid, obviously. And now she's like, oh, well, had an extra chromosome. We have to kill it. This is satanic shit.
The start of our journey, you know, of just trying to start a family. This is how it starts.
I know it's hard to look at, like, silver linings, but I mean, the fact that you can't
Silver lining, at least we can kill our baby.
and get pregnant is good. We weren't sure, and it was, bro, it was instant.
I don't see the silver lining. What the fuck is the silver lining? We thought you wouldn't have kids, but turns out you could have kids and we could just kill them. Wow, let's go! Woo!
We don't know why this happens. Maybe it is a birth control over a decade. Maybe it is just random genetic sequencing and it glitches, you know, just like cancer cells. Like sometimes it's just, we don't know.
Yeah, so they decided to post this themselves for some reason. God knows why they decided to do this. And, you know, this got 23 million views. Everyone's talking about it. Here we have a couple that's, like, talking about murdering their baby because they didn't get the results they wanted, which is pretty wild. And he made a post. He made a post on Twitter. This week, my wife and I made a very difficult decision to terminate the pregnancy due to trisomy 21. First of all, why the fuck are you announcing this to people? Why is this anybody's business aside from yours? Second of all, you're killing your baby here. This is insane. The choice was not made lightly. We really appreciate all the personal stories you guys shared with us, especially the unconditional support we received. Oh, not anymore! From fans with no matter what we decided. Yeah, I know some of you are probably disappointed to hear the news. We are devastated. This has been extremely traumatic for both of us, especially Ashley, I'm sure. She underwent the procedure earlier this week. All right, so baby's dead. They killed him. And is on the mend. Thankfully, everything went smoothly, but emotionally, we are drained. Oh, and you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Most women that end up doing abortions after they already see the ultrasound scans, they're traumatized for life. You know, killing your child does that, actually. Trisomy 21, also known as Down syndrome, is caused by an extra chromosome. Oh, an extra chromosome? You have to kill your baby. It's caused by an error in the cell division, like a glitch. The odds of having a baby of it is 1 in 1,000. When I first confronted by the news, I was shocked but optimistic. I think we're a little slow. And what is even happening? Like, you're doing this whole apology thing. We'll make it work. I signed down on to be a parent, come what may. Unless they have a disease, in which case we'll kill him. Once we made it public, it became clear. Most people do not know what Down syndrome entails. Yeah, we all know what Down syndrome is. Well, what are we even talking about? And now we have to explain how Down syndrome... It's really complicated to raise a kid with Down syndrome. Oh my God, it's really... It is. I'm not minimizing it, but you decided to kill your baby. Like, I'm not minimizing the fact that this happens, but you decided to kill him. Like, what are we even talking about? It's like, oh, my parents started getting dementia. I'm going to just kill my parents now. Oh, my parents have cancer. Time to kill them. What are we even talking about? This is a human being. And you decided to terminate this human being's life because it'll make your life a little more complicated. This is crazy, by the way. To all my fans who weighed in on the topic, who have autism, Down syndrome, other conditions, we appreciate you. Not. You think they would be better off dead, actually. No, you don't obviously appreciate that. You matter a lot. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I'm sure you are. I commend you and your families for having the strength to push forward instead of murdering you. Wouldn't that have been a happy alternative? As for us, we made a difficult decision that we have to believe in the long run will be beneficial for our family. Well, not for the baby you killed, but, you know, for, I guess, the rest of the people that don't have to work hard to raise a child, I guess. It will take a little time to move on. We're excited to try again in the future, but if it ends in the same outcome, we'll kill him too. Love you guys. Thanks for your understanding. Obviously, this did not go over well. Obviously, a lot of people were very unhappy at this, and a lot of people weighed in very positively towards this because, you know, a lot of people actually believe in murdering your children these days. So he got a lot of hate. He made another post. We're going to get into the responses in a second. I've never seen such hate and vitriol for two people grieving the loss of their unborn child. You killed your baby. And making an impossible decision. No, it was a very possible decision. You decided to kill your baby. Dude, look how insane this is, bro. I've never seen such hate and vitriol for us grieving the loss of... You killed him. You killed your baby, and you expect us to feel bad for you because you're grieving the loss of your child that you killed? What are we even talking about? Last 24 hours have exposed the side of humanity deeply disturbing, being called murderous pieces of shit, evil compared to Hitler. You know, probably because they killed their baby for eugenics purposes, just like Hitler did. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Receiving nonstop death threats. Obviously, that's unacceptable. You don't kill someone just because they killed their baby. Obviously, we don't have laws for stuff like that yet. Seeing as my 6-year-old dog with stage 4 kidney disease is used as a weapon, manipulating my words with an intent to tweet, blah, blah, blah. And we'll get there. We're going to cover that in a bit. I don't want to read. Bro literally word vomited all over the place. And it's honestly insane. You know, he decided to do like, be careful where you source your information. Whether it's disturbing propaganda accounts, AI, rage bait, fearmongers. We're living in a complicated time. The authenticity and empathy will be the most important currencies of the future. Not empathy for your baby who you killed, by the way. But we're supposed to have empathy for you for killing your baby. Let's understand exactly what's going on in the mind of your average libtard right now. This is what they posted. Baby Rigway coming fall 2026. And then you killed it. You called your baby a baby, and then you killed it because it had an extra chromosome. Bro really expected to kill his baby, make this whole public spectacle, and then people to say sorry for your loss. All right, like it's shocking. It's shocking how evil some people are. Just because, in my opinion, they were conditioned this way by society. Oh, this is inconvenient. Let's kill our baby now. All right, now he mentioned his dog, and we'll get there in a second because it's wild. So he made this post just a little before. Look at this little nugget. Wow, an ultrasound. This is a real living creature. This is a real living human being with real DNA that it has itself, its own DNA. It's a real human creature. Look at this little nugget. Sorry, Nugget, you weren't perfect. You got to get murdered. And this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Hey, Nugget, we're going to rip you apart in the womb, Nugget. Yeah, I'm sorry if this is a heavy topic for people. If you disagree with me, obviously, I think that you are probably an immoral creature, monster. But that's fine, whatever. Everyone has their own opinion for now until we legally call this murder. Because, you're killing a human being because it's inconvenient for you. Its existence is inconvenient, so therefore you're killing a human. But yeah, no, this is insane. It's insane to see this happening. Literally shoots his best. Stop attacking me. I'm grieving the loss of my child. Yeah, all right, dude. Yeah, all right, dude. Now, this is the craziest part. So, sweet, super 6th birthday. After she was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease last year around her 5th birthday, the vet said she had weeks to live. If we were lucky, maybe months. 1 year later, she is still fighting. She is in the 0.0001% of superhero dogs continue living with no kidneys. We all need a hero in this life. Jenny has been one of mine. So let's get this straight. We have a guy who's out there torturing himself with surgeries and endless torment to make sure that his dog without kidneys survives, but he'll kill his baby because his baby has an extra chromosome. Yeah, I'm the one without empathy because I don't want to kill humans, and he's the one with empathy because he's keeping his dog without kidneys alive and murdering his baby. I'm just trying to understand what's going on here in modern society. All right, now we have to see the responses for all the people that are pro-abortion in regards to this story, and we're going to tear them to shreds a little bit. Let me put things into perspective. A child with Down syndrome will have 20 to 50 times the chance to contract Alzheimer's. Okay, so should we just kill people with Alzheimer's? Is that a reason to kill people? Everyone with Alzheimer's, you just kill them now? A child with Down syndrome will be 10 times the chance of contracting cancer. Okay, so should we just kill people with cancer? So if that's a reason to kill people, should we just kill people with cancer now? A child with Down syndrome will 50% chance of developing a heart condition, 50% chance of hearing and vision loss. Oh, should we just kill people with heart divisions? If someone has hearing loss, should we just kill them now? Is that a reason to kill people? Now for the financial side of things. Oh, this is going to be good. Compared to a normal healthy child, it takes 2 times 6 times more to raise a child with Down syndrome. Okay, so this guy, Mick Juggernuggets, who's a multi-millionaire with 4 million subscribers. Okay, let's just understand. Average cost up to 18 years of age would be $400,000. Okay. So should we just kill people to save $400,000, of which he has very easily? Well, I'm just trying to understand exactly what this means, right? So this guy who's worth like $20 million, it would cost $400,000 to raise a kid, so he should just murder his kid, I guess, right? Is that a reasoning? Raising a child with Down syndrome is not only cruel to them, but to the parents too. Oh, if the parents are stressed, should they just kill their babies now? So, because obviously it's stressful. It's inhumane, actually. It's emotionally stressful. There's emotional stress involved, so they should just kill their children. Every single one of these arguments is completely irrelevant. All right, every single one of these arguments is just basically saying, oh yeah, you can just kill people that are inconvenient to you or society. That's basically what these people are trying to say. It's truly incredible. Y'all do realize that both parents know they're not prepared for the child with disabilities. It would literally negatively impact both the parents and the child's quality of life. Well, you know what definitely negatively impacts the child's quality of life? Murdering it. That is definitely something that would definitely negatively affect the quality of life. Taking away life. And my incredibly hot take is, I don't actually care about the parents' quality of life in regards to murder. If my quality of life is impacted negatively by someone, I shouldn't just be allowed to go and murder them now, right? Every single one of these arguments are, oh, it's inconvenient for this child to exist, so we should kill it. Like, that is literally every single one of these arguments, and they're not like fringe arguments. Every single one look, this has 100,000 likes from murderous fucks that want to kill their babies. All right, this one has 8 million views on this one. All right, and they're all like this, and there's so many. If I were pregnant and informed that my fetus had Down syndrome, I would absolutely abort. Oh, so you would also kill your baby? Cool. Thanks, ho. Thank you, whore. Very cool. W, let's go. So the conclusion here is, women would kill their babies for convenience purposes? Is that what we're doing here? No amount of social media romanticizing of profound disability would change my mind. No one's romanticizing the disability. We're just like, oh, actually, if this child is inconvenient to you, you shouldn't kill it. What are we even doing here? Contrary to popular opinion, you need more than love to care for a disabled child. Yeah, it's incredibly a lot. It's a lot of work. It is one of the consequences to having sex. you know, getting pregnant and having children, and sometimes those children are difficult, and that doesn't mean you should be allowed to kill them. This is crazy. Sounds like two people reasonable and self-aware enough to know that they're equipped to handle and opted to avoid bringing a child into the world to suffer, and they would and they would resent. Oh, if you resent your baby, you could kill them? Is that the conclusion here? Well, every single one of these arguments are like, it makes your life a little bit more inconvenient, so you could just kill somebody now. And I love it was like, avoid bringing a child into the world. The child was in the world. This was a child with its own unique DNA and heartbeat that they decided to kill. What are we even talking about? Do you know how much it costs to raise a disabled child, especially in this failing economy? Again, this is a guy worth $20 million. He's a YouTuber with 4 million subscribers. Money is not an issue, and even if it was an issue, it's irrelevant. Even if it was an issue, it's not like, oh, well, this'll cost a lot. I guess we have to kill him. All right. And it doesn't stop. The craziest part about the debate happening, the replies, debates always happen around this topic, is no one ever takes into consideration what a woman's body goes through during childbirth. Oh, so because of consequences of a decision that you made, you're going to be in a bit of pain for a couple of months, and therefore you could murder somebody. Yada yada, insanely long message, basically saying it's like, oh, you don't even need to give up to adoption. Why would you even give up to adoption? That's a ridiculous stance to have because it's difficult to carry a baby. So therefore killing it is better. Shocking, this is even a debate. Shocking that the West has fallen so far that killing babies is an acceptable idea for these people because it's inconvenient to have them. Now, Asmongold responded, in my opinion, with the most intellectually honest, evil response I've ever seen in my life. He says, based, I'd kill the kid too. Down syndrome's a lifelong impairment. It would be better if no one had it. Being able to control and filter out these defects is better for everyone. Common eugenics W. So this is Asmongold basically being honest. See, all these guys are liars. All these guys would murder babies, and then make believe that it's just morally good to murder babies because murdering babies is not really a big deal if it's inconvenient to you. Asmongold, at least he's honest. And he's like, yeah, it's actually just Nazi eugenics. Now, I think it's horrible to see shit like this. I think murder is bad, actually. Asmongold obviously does not share that same stance in this regard. And I love how, like, these guys are like, there's a better way to say it. And he's like, I avoid using euphemisms and soft language because it's true. Now, I really appreciate the honesty of him saying that actually murdering babies for eugenics purposes is good. I'm grateful for the honesty. I think it's an absolutely evil stance to hold, don't get me wrong, but the honesty is very appreciated. Now, Charlie Kirk actually had a debate very similar to this with somebody. May he rest in peace. And this is pretty diabolical.
So you're saying, hey, my body, my choice.
I'm actually saying for the first trimester. After that,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's just say this is a different moral argument that I'm interested to have you play around with.
Okay.
Should it be legal if a mom finds out she's having a girl?
Okay.
But she wants a boy. Should she be able to abort that 3-week-old?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you even say? What do you even say? This is like an actual Nazi eugenicist. Like, this is your average libtard take, by the way.
The baby is going to be born to a mother who's like, well, dang it, my kid's not a girl, it's a boy, or vice versa. Then I don't even think they should be born to that parent in the first place. So,
but just to understand.
What are we doing?
So what you are arguing.
This is a human being that we're talking about.
For is eugenics, just so we are clear.
Yes.
It is not just illegal. It is grotesquely illegal what you are talking about.
Obviously
which
evil.
is sex-selective abortion, basically where you get a DNA result at 3 weeks, and you could be like, nope, not the hair color I like, terminate it. I wanted a boy. So basically your view of pregnancy is no different than customizing a Ford Explorer.
Oh, my whole point again.
No,
is
you got to emphasize on it. Your view is that the baby, if all of a sudden you get a blood test that you don't like, that it's, by the way, you could tell a lot of your baby's DNA test now. How tall it's going to be, its average IQ, brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes, whether it's going to be likely overweight, obese, whether or not it's going to be a boy or a girl. So if you get anything that you don't like, you say, my body, my choice, get it out of the shopping cart.
Well, yeah, and to be honest, it's very ethically problematic, yeah, but...
Yeah, I'm really glad we brought that up, thanks. Now the libtards are using high IQs to dismantle the patriarchy and murder babies, as they like doing. You believe this is human? 'Cause it is. Haha, got him! This is a dolphin fetus. Oh, we got him, yo! What kind of onion is this? A yellow onion. Wrong, you fool, for this is no onion at all. Rather, it is a decorated cake. You must feel so stupid right now. Oh my God, totally destroyed with facts and logic. This is literally what we're dealing with. Shri Thanadar, all right, Indian retard in Congress. 1 in 4 American women have an abortion in their lifetime. Is it your view that 1 in 4 American women are monsters and pro-death and kill with a smile on their face? Thousands of your constituents have abortions and deserve to know if you have this much contempt for them. Oh, a lot of people kill their kids. So therefore, you should be totally okay with it. Yeah, you should be just pro-murder now because a lot of people are pro-murder. Great take, sir. Great take. 1 in 4 American women have an abortion in their lifetime. Men killing 1 billion people in all wars of all of human history. Women killing 1.3 billion people since abortion in 1980. Bro, dude, this is what we're dealing with, man. And then society be like, why do women have so many mental health issues? Well, I don't know. We live in a culture where they murder their babies. Maybe that is, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. That's pretty wild. So I think this is one of the greatest moments in all of congressional history in the United States. Brandon Gill asked a pro-abortion advocate a couple of very meaningful questions.
You're an advocate for abortion, for abortion policy. What's your favorite type of abortion?
Great question.
I am an advocate for patients having access to the full realm of reproductive health care.
You see, that's a nothing burger's answer. Again, they're terrified of using real words because the real words sound horrible.
But do you have
That's why even though I think Asmongold is completely immoral with his stance on abortion, which basically makes him pro-murder, I think he would admit it. He is pro-murdering babies, actually, if it makes life less convenient. That's his stance, and he's honest about it. He's pro-eugenics. Dope. Let's go. All right, I'm grateful for the honesty, you know?
A preferred method of abortion that you like?
I do not.
Let me read through a couple different methods, and I want to get your take on how much you like these. The first type is called a suction abortion. This is when the cervix is dilated and a strong suction, 29 times the power of a household vacuum cleaner, tears the baby's body apart and sucks it through the hose into a container. Do you prefer that method?
I stand by my former testimony.
Look at her disgusted.
That sounds kind of...
Look at her disgusted. Because he's just describing the operations that are used to murder babies on an industrial scale.
Gross, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That was pretty gruesome.
That was pretty gruesome. Yeah, true.
Do you agree? It does to me.
I stand by how I answered your question fully and accurately.
Okay, what about this one? This one is called dilation and curettage. After dilation of the cervix, a sharp looped knife is inserted into the uterus. The baby's body is cut into pieces and extracted, often by suction. Do you prefer that method?
What I believe we are here to talk about today is the FACE Act. We are not here to talk
I'm
about
asking
the
you, you're
legality
a
of
pro-abortion
abortion.
advocate. I'm asking if you prefer the dilation and curettage method.
I am an access to reproductive health care advocate.
You
can't even say the words. They can't even say the words because of the demonstrable evil that we're doing.
You don't want to talk
as a society. Wow, dude.
About abortion itself. Why is that?
I would prefer to talk about the reason that the committee called the hearing.
Is it because it's
freedom of
uncomfortable to talk
access.
about?
Would prefer
It should be uncomfortable.
I would prefer, if you would let me finish my statement, to talk about the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, which is
We're
what I
talking
was
about
asked to come
what that
here to
access
talk about.
gets. How about this one? It's called dilation and evacuation. Forceps are inserted into the uterus, grabbing and twisting the baby's body to dismember him or her. If the head is too large, it must be crushed in order to remove it. Do you prefer that method?
Bro.
I would prefer to talk about the reason the hearing was called and the basis of my expert testimony.
It's uncomfortable to hear this, isn't it? It is. I think it is, because it's barbaric and evil. How about this one? It's called the saline injection.
Oh, how about that one?
It's when a 20% salt solution is injected through the mother's abdomen into the baby's amniotic fluid. The baby's skin is burned off. The baby ingests the solution and dies of salt poisoning, dehydration, and hemorrhaging of the brain. Do you prefer that method?
I would prefer to talk about the subject of the hearing.
This is the subject of the hearing. This is about protests outside of abortion clinics. I'm asking you about abortion.
I stand by my prior testimony.
Okay. I wouldn't want to talk about this either if I were you, because
because it's barbaric and evil. That's why. That's why I wouldn't want to talk about it personally. So yeah, the reason why I'm doing this is because no one wants to talk about this actually, because apparently abortion is one of those like holy subjects you're not allowed to touch. One of the major tenets of the leftist religion But that's exactly why we're going to actually do it, and we're going to get involved, and we're going to talk about it, because unfortunately, this barbaric and evil operation that happens on an industrial scale, killing 1 million babies a year, with 98% of these babies are getting killed for convenience purposes, not posing a threat to the life of the mother. This is a great barbaric evil in society that needs to get expunged and needs to get talked about. So whenever I see like these giant political debates about these people being like, oh, but a missile misfired and killed casualties in Iran when we were taking out terrorists trying to kill us, is it killing innocent people bad? You know, isn't it bad when innocent people die? It's like these people that are literally going to prop up the abortion industry, killing 1 million innocent people a year in America due to convenience purposes. I don't actually give a flying fuck about their moral grandstanding on literally anything. And I wish more people had the clarity and the courage to stand up and actually talk about how demented our society is. That this shit is not only happening, but it's so culturally accepted that we have YouTubers monetizing this shit to get sympathy out of their audience for their loss. Sorry, bro. This shit's not gonna slide. Anyway, sorry it got dark towards the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. For the most part, we got to cover all the things in the least homosexual way possible. You know, I'm sorry if we're being too real here on the channel, but someone needs to be. Definitely subscribe, daily deep dive into all of the things unapologetically and honestly. I'll say them the way I think they need to be said. I will not run away. You may not agree with all of my stances, but at least note that the stances are honest ones. I appreciate all immensely. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate all of your support. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.